conscience breathe. Fight for the power. Stand your ground, don't let it go. Fight for the power. Can't be scared when you're in the dark. You should never let the fear make you run away. Fire still burning for another day. Fight for the power.
Pushes it in.
Oh, he's got another one! He's got another one!
Oh, wow!
As that ball bounces across the middle, he is onside.
Last 4 minutes of the first half. Pause.
Let's go. Hey, when we get the ball back, punish them.
Traffic with the and one. Going right, passing left. There's a touchdown pass to Strickland.
Raise your flag or even the score. Take your shot, ready for more. Surrender, there is no other choice. Set my soul free now. Light it up on fire. Bet on me, I got you. Pick a number.
Castle with a block downfield. Breaks the tackle. Stiff arm. Turns that charm off. 1 second.
If I do it, then I'm doing it to death. Oh yeah, I'm influencing the ones that do it best. Oh yeah, start a movement with the crew. You got a few, we got a slew. We trying to do what they said that we couldn't do. Oh yeah, I ain't living with regrets. Ain't no limits, ain't no rest. Yeah, money, power, respect. I want more, I wanna be blessed. We want the legacy. We got the hope and we bring in the remedy. Working it steadily. We want the glory. We want the glory. If I do it, I'ma do it for the glory. Ain't nobody gonna do it for me. Kill it every day up in the morning. It's a blessing, so I do it for the glory. Ay, the glory. Ay, the glory. Ay, you know I do it for the glory. Ay, the glory. Ay, ay, when I do it, yeah, I do it for the glory. For the real, I know how they used to feel. Now I'm here up in the field, making these moves, making these deals. I make something out of nothing. I ain't bluffing, no discussion. Look at the numbers, I've been hustling. Little rough around the edges, still I made it though. Still I just been laying low. Man, I just feel grateful though. I know where I come from, man, I ain't alone. Yeah, and I feel so blessed. Too blessed to be stressed. And I'm with the day unos. They don't ride to the death. We got the legacy. We got the hope and we bring in the remedy. Working it steadily. We want the glory. We want the glory. If I do it, I'ma do it for the glory. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna do it so good, it feel like I'm cheating. A well of the storm, I feel like a season. This type of drive could push Lamborghinis. So get yourself signed and have your own sneaker. I'm in the van, I'm pushing the meter. A legend like John for everyday people. I got the heart of a champion. I got the blood of a winner. I don't know how to be stagnant. I got way too much ambition. I keep on beating statistics. How would I be denied? My only option is winning. I'm crossing the finish line. I am the greatest. Nothing can stop me now. The time has come for me to take my crown. I am a champion. No one can slow me down. The world is mine. Once I cross the finish line, I'm number one. I put myself in a place where nothing can top me. I feel like I'm space. It's bigger than profit, but still I get paid. My thinking colossal, not minimum wage. Talk to the loss like I know the way. Stay on my job like who need a break? It wasn't possible, I heard him say, but I'm like MacGyver to all my mistakes. Running back home, now look at the bases. Been winning so long, I feel like a native. I got what you want, but you cannot take it. I do what you don't, cause I'm more creative. I put me on, no help for your favors. I'm breaking the mold to show you the flavors. I got control, you can't enable. I'm using my flaws to make me the greatest. I'm number one. I'm number one. I'm number one. Yeah, I'm number one. 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 Yeah, I'm number one. I'm number one. I am the greatest. Nothing can stop me now. The time has come for me to take my crown. I am a champion. No one can slow me down. The world is mine. Once I cross the finish line, I'm number one. I'm number one. I'm number one. Yeah, I'm number one. Once I cross the finish line, I'm number one. I'm number one. I'm number one. Yeah, I'm number one. I'm number one. I'm number one.
You are looking live at a cold and crisp Ray and Sue Smith Stadium on the eastern edge of Hope College, the little school by the inland sea, where we are coming to you with the Rivalry Gridiron Edition. The Hope College Flying Dutchmen play host to their rival to the east, the Knights of Calvin University, for the first time, second time overall, first time here in Holland. I'm Scott Vanderstoop, along with Mike Coleman. A very long time ago, even before my lifetime, an Indiana coach well before Bobby Knight, Branch McCracken, would gather his guys together, and he'd always give a stirring pregame speech. And against Purdue, he would say, "Men, let's go. This is Purdue." And I got to believe there's that kind of attitude with a Hope Calvin football game. Mike Coleman, what are your thoughts?
I would think so, because we had the inaugural rivalry football game last year, and hype is everything, but we're still 214 games behind the Hope Calvin basketball rivalry, but we're catching up. But there's a lot of excitement. You know, you look at the records. Hope comes in at 7-1. Calvin's at 6-2. They're having a much better year than their 2-8 inaugural season. Hope's heavily favored, but I'm telling you, emotion plays such a heavy role in this rivalry. we'll get to the X's and O's of everything, but anything can happen in this type of contest. Hope in the driver's seat. They're at home. We expect a big crowd, perfect football weather, but it remains to be seen, but we'll see.
I got to believe if you're in the seat of Calvin College, you sit at a one game behind kind of the big three, and this is a moment for them to say they deserve to be in the top half of the league and not the bottom half of the league. And so this is a huge game for both teams, but especially for that kind of statement.
Absolutely. I mean, Calvin's going nowhere postseason, but they can disrupt the apple cart of Hope's progress. Even if Hope doesn't win the conference, they can win an outright berth, which is a great chance. So Hope's trying to take care of their business. And Calvin has, besides a rivalry, besides trying to get their best record in their second season, they have so much to play for because they can really influence what's going to happen in the MIAA in the next couple of weeks.
I had a chance to sit down, or stand up, I should say, with head coach Peter Stuursma this week as he prepared his team for the Knights of Calvin. So we're going to go to that right now, and let's hear from head coach Peter Stuursma.
We're here with head football coach Peter Stuursma as he prepares his team for Calvin University on Saturday. Coach, I got to tell you, after week one of the MIAA season, Hope
I sort of
Nation
made that up.
was a little gloomy.
Well, no,
They
it's
lost
true,
the first league,
but I just
game. I know you
Branch
were feeling
McCracken,
gloomy
yeah.
too. 4 weeks later, you've won 4 in a row. There are plausible and real conversations about you playing postseason football and maybe even a co-share of the MIAA title. We haven't talked much because you've been on the road. What's it been like for you and the team the last month?
Well, I'll go back to the first part of your question, and that was after we lost to Alma, which of course we know that it was told, we were told by the league that they made a mistake, etc., and it's counted as a loss in NCAA play. But I felt like our guys really responded well. We talked about that a little bit because I felt like you don't have any other.
No, I don't think
just
so.
Have to respond. And since that time, I just felt like we've been getting better and better. To say that I expected what we did at Albion would be wrong. Just felt like we played really, really well, really, really hard, and it kind of went our way. And super proud of our guys.
We're doing offensive
You all
starters
talk
first,
about
Freddie.
What's next, playoffs and those kinds of things. We don't, because
And we got to be out by 10 because that's when the team comes out.
We'll get to Albion in a second.
But I think we're going to make it.
2 weeks to Adrian. I have so many questions about that game. They were a very good team. They came in as advertised. So my one question that I have time to ask you is, you're down. You get the ball at your own 7 minutes to go, down by 2, against a nationally ranked team in a loud and hostile environment. What was going on the headsets and with your guys as you marched down and got the victory with 10 seconds to go?
Quite frankly and honestly, I was very calm. I felt like we had moved the ball very well all day. Of course, our defense was playing lights out, in particular second half. Shut out in the second half, and we had a safety. But when we got the ball back, 6:50 on the clock, and I just felt like we were moving the ball well, and we just kept chunking away at it. And to get down there, huge holding call on Seth Lumen, backs us up, and we never even really flinched. And of course, Caden Balkin bangs home a 45-yard field goal to win it. And just so many props and credits to so many guys. It was a team win. That team was very good. They are, as you said, as advertised, in particular on defense. They're very stout up front. They have linebackers that can run, corners that can cover well. I thought they had a great game plan against us, but yet we kept hanging in there. Super proud of our guys to come out of there. And to answer your question in general, I was real calm, and it was calm in the headsets because we felt like we had a job to do, and we just kept plugging away at it.
Indeed, and you did plug away at it. So then we fast forward to Albion. It's been a rival of yours for a lot of years. They haven't been good this year, but you had to know that you were going to get their best effort. And you dominated from
Offense
play
first,
one,
Freddie,
the
then
interception.
defense.
So what was the key? Unlike
It'll
the
be
touchdown
offense,
being,
then the teams
I
come
can't
out,
watch
then
this
defense, then anthem if
nerve-wracking
we can
kind
get
of
it in.
game against Adrian. What did you do to dominate from wire to wire?
Well, going into the game, we remind our guys that the transitive properties of math.
Oh, great. I saw that in there.
Who
Okay.
played them last, et cetera, et cetera. The rivalry game that you mentioned, as it is, has been an incredible rivalry over time. Close games. I think in 2015, the year before I was here, Hope was 0 for 4, 0 for 5 in the league, played Albion in the final league game, and they missed a 2-point conversion to lose the game. So we said throw those all out of the window.
Jake, you're going to a 30 after the interview,
Certainly
right?
The first play went our way, but then when we housed our first offensive play, and we just kept rolling from there. 3 facets of the game came together.
Oh, I
pretty
know.
well.
They were
So
went home
from
one
there,
time
so
in a
we're proud
month.
of our guys.
Yeah.
In particular, our seconds that went in, seconds and thirds that went in.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
also played really, really well. Total team effort. Really surprised by the score, but just proud of the way our guys played.
Speaking of rivalry, it's now your turn to host the Rivalry Gridiron Edition. Calvin University has won more games this year than they did last year. They sit right behind the top 3 teams in the league. I'm sure from their perspective, they want to show that they belong in the top half and not the bottom half. I know you're a coach of regularity and routine, but it is a rivalry. So what will be different for the players in terms of maybe the in-game experience, maybe in terms of the distractions, the preparation? I know you want to say nothing, but what will you try to fight off to say that you are a coach of regularity and routine, which I know you pride yourself in?
Yeah, well, first of all, Calvin University is a very good football team. Trent Fagan and his staff have done a nice job. I tip my cap to what they've done in a year. They've really made incredible strides. They're a very good football team. They're 6-2. And so what does that add? They're a good football team coming to our place. That's what this is about. Certainly the rivalry. And we've talked before, it's all the other sports are like, well, welcome to the rivalry, because this is what it's been like. We hadn't had that up until last year. So it's obviously a privilege to be a part of something. ESPN's written it up as one of the most significant college rivalries in the country. And so to be a part of that is obviously an honor. What do we have to guard against is we have to prepare for Calvin University to play football. All the other things, and I love the fact that, you know, we host big games, we do these things. Our administrative staff in the athletic department is so awesome at running the game. The game's backed up a little bit, so our routine's going to back up a little bit. Other than that, it's a really good football team coming to town, and that's what we're preparing for right now.
So on the field, as you think about that good football team, on offense or on defense, what parts, what elements of the game do you want to prepare for the most, and do you want to have your guys most ready for? What does Calvin bring that makes you the most sort of ready to be concerned?
Offensively, they're very balanced. They can throw it, they can run it. They have a very good running back in Hunter Hogan, but multiple guys will run the ball. Their quarterback's done a really nice job coming in and starting for them. He's a new player, but he throws to a big target. Mitch Morizen's a 6'7" target. You know, he's got some other guys in the slot that they will catch the ball, so they're very balanced. So we got to be willing to do the things that we can do to stop run and pass. It's not just, oh, they're a heavy run team. They're very good and balanced. Defensively, they bring pressure from a lot of different areas. We have to be able to protect. We have to be able to do what we do, of course, on the ground. They're going to give us different looks. And again, you go into a game like this, and all things are available to everybody's, you know, goodie bag or bag of tricks, whatever that might be, because that's what you do in a game like this. We've already talked to our guys about there will be a bigger crowd here, without question. It is at night. That's exciting. Our guys are so fired up to play at night because they haven't done it since high school. But at the end of the day, it's 2 good football teams that I think play very hard and play very well, and that's what, you know, we're excited about to get this week going.
Well, we know you were in a meeting with your defensive staff here. We appreciate you taking a few minutes, Coach. It's always good to talk to you and have fun on Saturday.
Thanks a lot, Stu. Go Hope.
That was head coach Peter Sturzma as he prepares his team for Calvin University, the Rivalry Gridiron Edition. Mike Coleman and I will be back with that call right after this. You're watching Hope Football on the Anchor Network.
Cancer, we're coming for you. Parkinson's, your days are numbered.
I'll bring us back.
Alzheimer's?
Yep.
We're zeroed in on you two. Because at Van Andel Institute, the world's best minds are working relentlessly to eradicate these diseases forever. By advancing the boldest innovations, achieving breakthroughs, and transforming lives. Because the most powerful way to fight diseases, never stop fighting. Van Andel Institute, innovation unleashed.
Welcome back to Ray and Sue Smith Stadium. While we are waiting, moments away, a few minutes away. We got a few minutes to chat about the upcoming rivalry. But before we do that, we're going to have the opportunity to check the starting lineups for Hope College. We'll start on offense. Mike Coleman, as our boss Freddie Velasquez brings up the graphic. There's the big boys up front. The tackles: Brett Showers, 6'6", 3 spins of the scale, a senior from Mason. The right side, Jeremiah Libama, 6'2", 270, a sophomore from Orlando, FLA, where it is scheduled to be only 86 degrees today, Mike Coleman.
Beautiful.
Kemper Millis, one of the guards, 6'1", 315, a senior from Mona Shores. And Timmy Clay, 6'1", junior, 249 from Byron Center. Andrew Hawkins calls his guards the Maulers. And then in the middle, the center, the man anchoring it all, Rob McAleese, the downriver destroyer, 6'1 senior from 266 from Brownstone, Michigan. The receiving corps is very talented. Eli Vanderveen, junior, 6'5", 208 from Hudsonville. Travis Myers, 6'1 junior from 175 from Ada. And the man who's caught more than any this year, Johnny Rowan Blanton, 5'10", 182, a junior from Rockford. And then in the backfield, it's Seth Lumen, the H-back, 6' junior, 225 from Rochester. The running back, they'll run him in and out, but they'll start with Cal Motter, 5'10 sophomore, 194 from Lawton. And then Alex Thole, a junior, 5'10", 190, Schoolcraft, Michigan, via Tarleton State and Grand Valley State University. A lot of weapons on that field.
A lot of weapons. Only 4 returning starters from last year's 11-1 team. We got a new quarterback in Alex Thole, 5th in the nation in pass efficiency and quarterback completion. And you got a team that averages 508 yards per game. That's 5th best in the nation. This is an offense, 50-plus points, 3 of their last 4 games.
Let's take a look at the defense while we got a couple minutes here. We'll start up front. The big boys on the ends, Tate Bezo, 6'3", 248 from Saline. He's a junior. On the other side, Liam Danitz, fast and strong, 6'5", 227, a senior from West Branch. In the middle, Jake Punches. What a name for a defensive tackle. 6 foot, 246. He's a sophomore from Farwell. You probably know this, Mike Coleman, population 899. And then Caleb Parlberg, the senior, 6'2", 258 from Caledonia. A skilled linebacking crew, Yogi Bryce Debris, senior, 5'11", 196 from DeWitt. Colton Skur leads all tacklers, 5'11", 198, a senior from South Christian. And how about this, Nolan Viss, 5'11", 207 freshman from Unity, starting his first game of his career for the injured Micah Bush. The secondary is Trenton Bullhouse, sophomore, 6'3", 189 from Zeeland West, and Owen Graham, 5'11", senior, 215 from Caledonia. The corners are Austin Harvey, 6'1", junior, 196 from Rockford, and Lorenzo Vitti, 6 foot, 175 junior from Dearborn Javine Child via the United States Naval Academy. Mike Coleman, what an opportunity for the young Mr. Viss, taking the place for Micah Bush in his first start, going up against so many of his teammates.
Yeah, it's incredible. He's one of 8 backup 2 deep, as we call them, on this roster for Peter Sturzma that back up the starters. And Nolan Viss, next man up mentality, certainly a capable linebacker. And this defense has been incredible. Gave up just 81 yards total in the victory over Albion last week, 62-0. This is an offense, and now we're talking about the defense that is really peaking at a great time.
Thanks to our great crew here with these terrific shots. What a day out there for Hope College football. We are going to just stand by. I thought we might take a break, but we don't want to miss the entrance as they're scheduled to come out here in about 30 seconds. What do you know? There might have been something going on with Adrian and Trine today. Tell me about that.
Yeah, good stuff. Since we're the 5 o'clock game, we've had all finals today. Adrian and Trine, a big game as far as the MIAA shakeup. Trine had a 14-0 lead at Adrian. Adrian tied it up 21-all, pulled away 44-21. And a big win for Adrian at home to keep their aspirations alive for the MIAA. Alma, no problem with Kalamazoo up at Balke Field today, 59-3. And then the upstart Britons of Albion in a shootout over Olivet, who we will see next week, the Comets, 58-42. Sounds like a basketball score, Stoop.
Well, maybe. Yeah, at least. Maybe,
high school.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe when I'm shooting. But so we have I had a chance to run down and have a chat with some of the coaches. If I have a chance, I like to go down and just kind of get their pulse right before. And so I got a chance to talk to a few of them. And all of them said, I said, what's on your mind? They said, Stoop, can you do anything about the music? Apparently the music was unsatisfactory. The coaching staff's 35 minutes out. It did, I'm not in charge of music, but it did say football warm-up on it, so I'm not exactly sure whether the communication between the coaching staff and the music was subpar or not.
Are those the intangibles that we always talk about, Stoop?
Well, we'll see. I mean, I told them, I said, well, we've got Judy Collins and we've got Glenn Campbell coming up. Is that going to be good enough for you?
Little Joan Baez to lighten the dulcet musical tones.
as we see the Dutchman getting ready to come out. I finished my workout today about noon, and offensive coordinator Andrew Hawken was coming into his office, and I got to tell you, Mike, he is just so much fun to talk to. You see him walking around on the field, you might think he's part of the chain gang or something, like he's just cool as the other side of the pillow. And I said, how you feeling? He said, I'm feeling great, like we have to execute. And then I talked to defensive coordinator Jacob Pardonnet right before the game. I said, what is your thought? He said, we need to let preparation be our execution, not the moment. And I think if you're Calvin University, you would like to do anything to disrupt and make this thing chaotic for Hope, to get them out of their system so that all of a sudden, here they come. All of a sudden, we got a football game, and Calvin has the momentum. The longer they can extend that, I think the better off they'll be.
Yeah, fantastic. We are watching fireworks across the way on the east side of Ray and Sue Smith Stadium. To say this is just another game would be an understatement in the second meeting all time. But, yeah, you love these matchups. We'll get to the X's and O's like we talked about, Scott, but Calvin kind of banged up. Their offensive line a little depleted. Hope's got 2 defensive starters that have been out the last couple weeks, and so it's just a matter of the next man up. But I think the keys, and we'll get into things too, is both teams want to establish a rush. Can Hope exploit the porous Calvin secondary? But this Calvin defense is great, 25 sacks. Are they going to put pressure on Alex Thole? He's had the ability to really elude and find his targets. And he'll find anybody. Thole throws to anybody. How many games has he thrown to 8 or 9 different receivers?
Absolutely. There are like 15 on the receiving list who have a catch this year. And it's also the case that, Hunter Thompson recognizes that. He told me before the game, he said, if we control the line and protect the quarterback, we'll be fine, Stoop. And I think that's absolutely right.
You bet.
I think we are about ready for our national anthem. Let's turn it over to the public address announcer for today, Mr. Darren Deistermars.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask you to please rise. Gentlemen, if you would, please remove your caps. To honor America with the singing of our national anthem, please welcome a true friend of the Hope College program, Mr. Lee Greenwood.
Coin toss coming up next, but first we're going to take a little break. We'll be back with that. You are watching Hope Football on the Anchor Network.
Yeah, my name is Travis Williams. I'm the CEO of the ODC Network. I graduated from Hope in 1998. I studied biology, and then I also played football. In order to be successful, people really need more than just the academic experience, but they need people to come alongside them and help them coach them, mentor them. I find that Hope College has just been one of the best examples of being able to do that anywhere.
As an invested community partner, LVZ is proud to help share Hope stories of transformational impact.
Both teams ready to bring their captains out. Hope College is promptly and sincerely aligned along the western sideline. Knights of Calvin University bringing their team out right now as we are all set for the coin toss. So I guess we're moments away from that. We'll have a chance to recognize our officials for tonight's game. The white hat, Mr. Robert Foss, Andrew Zyzik, Chad Jackson, Corey DeGroat, good basketball official too, Coleman. You'll see him. He's probably the biggest, strongest, fittest one with no hair. You'll see him this year as you're doing your men's games.
Fantastic.
He's a very good MIAA basketball official as well. Trevin Cooper, William Lobsinger, Patrick Faust, and Dallas Hale. Captains are aligned as we are waiting here. We could say a lot, but I guess we got maybe 15 or 20 seconds to talk about, I don't know, let's pick a topic. Let's do NCAA Division III postseason football. Discuss.
Right. Hope a win today would keep them in the conversation if they can run the table for the rest of the season. Hope, by all prognostications, has a great chance of getting in at an at-large bid, and we'll find out soon enough.
Let's turn it over to Robert Foss, who has the pregame coin toss responsibilities. I believe Mr. Robert Foss forgot to turn his mic on.
He's got a lot going on, Scott.
There we go. Perhaps he didn't
Which way are we kicking?
There we go.
Back to those goal lines, gentlemen. Hope will receive at the south end zone.
All right. Hope will take the ball. They will go from south to north to start off. We are ready to go. Very briefly, I don't know how much time we'll have to talk about this, but if you're Hope, you need to win out. And you would have probably, even though Sturzman would deny this, you would have one eye next week on that Alma-Adrian game, because then, as we talked about in the pregame interview, there's a chatter about, if it ends up the way that perhaps Adrian would want it to end up, you'd have a three-way tie for the MIAA championship. And then the complications, then the tiebreaker and the automatic qualifier get quite complicated.
Yes, they do, and it's above my pay scale, Scott Vanderstoop, but Alma has 2 losses, but they've won 6 straight with a win today. But I guess we can chat about that next week when we play Olivet. But, it's in the back of everybody's mind, Scott. But right now, how about night football? We're gonna finish in the dark, sunset about 5:30, lights are on. And this is the first time in 2 seasons of home games that we're in a long sleeve. I kid you not.
It has been a terrific fall indeed. Well, it might be among your pay grade, Mike Coleman, but let me tease you with this.
Okay.
The National Power Index will use statistical and stochastic techniques such as second-order Markov models, conditional probabilities, and logistic regression.
Well, that goes without saying.
Film at 11.
Did you have to write those down?
No, I used to teach stats.
I know.
Logan Knapp looking set to kick off, number 99 for the Knights. We're ready to go. Here with the play-by-play, the voice of Hope College, Mr. Mike Coleman.
Thank you, Stoop. Sidewinder at the 2-yard line. Fielding it is Gavin Ream straight up the gut, and he is hit high and dropped. My goodness. Nice special teams tackle for Calvin. How about number 14? It is Jonah Carlson, the sophomore out of Rockford, Michigan, my old hometown. And Hope will start 1st and 10. Looking at the weather real quick. Overcast, it's supposed to be dry, a little wind out of the northeast, which means off to our left in the corner end zone, not going to be a factor today.
I saw Hawk, as I said before, as I was walking out from my exercise this morning, and I said, what's your first play off the record? And he said, it depends on what hash we're on. He told me what we'd run from the right and what we'd run from the left. He didn't tell me what we were going to run from the middle, so we're going to find out.
Just inside the far hash, moving right to left, Hope in their dark blue uniforms, and a fumble as Alex Thole hit in the backfield and dropped. Well, we didn't get a chance to talk about how turnovers are key because it goes without saying, but Hope eludes danger on a bad transaction between Thole and the running back and a big loss of 7.
And I don't believe in the conversation, I can state for the record that a fumble was actually not in the playbook. It looked like it was probably an option, and there was a little bit of a hesitation between the running back and Mr. Thole, and that caused the fumble. So we got 2nd and unmanageable right now.
Had a little bit of precipitation early, but not a factor right now as Johnny Rowan Blanton is pushed out of bounds right around the 25. They've got to get to the 35, back to the original line of scrimmage. The leading receiver for the Flying Dutchman comes in with 43 grabs. It'll bring up 3rd and long in the opening possession of this first quarter.
Well, one of the things Andrew Hawkins says is don't get behind the sticks, and for the most part, they haven't done that, but first 2 plays have indeed put them where they don't want to be. We'll see what we got on the call sheet here for 3rd and 9.
Caden DeHorn lines up near side, left side. Rowan Blanton in the slot, straight drop. Thole has time, fires it. He's got a receiver on the far side. Travis Myers calls it in. The junior out of Ada, Forest Hills Northern, moving the chains, and on a dime, Travis Myers with a breakout year gives Hope their first down in the first quarter.
2nd in receiving next to Rowan Blanton, 29th of the year. That moving of the chains will allow us to meet the Calvin University defense. Up front, they've got Marcus Bruker, Unity Christian, one of the defensive linemen. Matthews Rymick, Grosse Pointe South, Isaiah Hill from Zawaziak, and Luke Bushhouse. Got some more after this play.
On 1st and 10, Power Sweet trying to get to the outside, getting the edge. A nice seam block by Seth Lumen, the all-conference H-back for Hope last year at good yardage. I'm not going to lie to you, Stoop, a little difficult at this time to see 6 from 8s, things of that nature. But that was A.J. Martell, the sophomore out of Mason, with a 5-yard pickup.
Yeah, we didn't really, they didn't really consult the broadcast crew and their aging eyes about night football. It was what nobody discussed it with us.
2nd down and 5. First drive of the game from the Rowan 44. They will scrimmage. Rowan Blanton in motion. He'll line up in the slot on the play action. Thole going deep, looking for DeHorn, tries to one-arm it, and good coverage as Caden DeHorn making his 2nd start of the year. The big 6'5" receiver couldn't haul it in.
That was covering. The ball was a little behind, and it was Caleb Dubowski on the coverage. He's playing for Alex Minahan, who is injured. Alex Minahan is a junior from Lakeview, New York, via Grand Valley State University, interestingly enough.
Yeah, he's sorely missed in that secondary. And Stoop, this is a secondary that gives up almost 300 yards per game. And so any loss of a starter is a big loss for this Calvin as a whole. 3rd down and 5 for the Flying Dutchman on the year. 32nd in the nation at 50% on the year. They led the nation last year. Quick hitter over the middle. 1st down more. Johnny Rowan Blanton has his feet taken out, but not before he picks up a 1st down. And a fine tackle in the secondary. That tackle by Gage Jones, the sophomore out of Ludington for Calvin.
Continuing with the Calvin starters, the linebackers, Caden McCullough, 6'2", 190 from Goodrich. Carson Schneerstein, 5'11", 215 from Portage Central. Gage Jones making that last stop, 6'0", 180 from Ludington. And Caden Bulldog from Reese Puffer, 6'0", 207.
Schneerstein, Scott, he's a tackle monster, 1st in the conference at 100 tackles and another completion. I believe that is Trevor Griffiths, the junior out of Stevensville Lakeshore. And Thole, like he always does, right on the dime, 74% passer, Stoop. How about 5th in the nation in completion accuracy?
We'll take it. He feeds a lot of people. The defensive back, Caden Kolanowski, 6'2", 190 from Goodrich. Reed Vogeler, 5'11", 205 from Caledonia. Caleb Dubowski, the aforementioned, taking the place of Minahan. And then Jair Nolan from Sugar Hill, Georgia via Greenville College.
He had 5 career interceptions at Greenville, did Nolan. He's got 2 with Calvin. Thole in trouble, eludes, tries to spin to the outside, and he's wrapped down at the 34. Was able to slip 2 white jerseys, but takes the loss.
Gage Jones with the big stop there. I got to tell you, when Bob Sack from the Calvin Broadcasting unit came over and told me Minahan wasn't playing, I will never meet Mr. Minahan, but he was from Lakeview, New York. And I was all ready to tell our listeners its population 5,972. You would think Alice Minahan would be the most famous person out of Lakeview, New York. You would be wrong. More after this play.
Low snap. Thole recovers. Scrambling right. He's going to tuck it and run. Has room. And he's sandwiched down at the 22. Alex Thole able to use his legs on good secondary coverage. Makes it 3rd and manageable for the Flying Dutchman.
2nd rush. This is just for you, Mike Coleman.
All right.
Alex Minahan, Lakeview, New York. home of Sly from Sly and the Family Stone.
Really?
And David Brown, the bassist for Santana,
How about
both
that?
from Lakeview, New York.
Oh, yeah, Komava, Scott Vanderstoop.
I bet Alex Minahan probably didn't even know that.
Oh, good pull. Sly passed away, sadly, last year. Give. Cal Motter off left tackle. He is spun down. He was hit low and corkscrewed up high as he's brought down smack dab on the 20-yard line. In on the tackle is Caden Balduck, the sophomore out of Reese Buffer High School. Bring up 4th and 1 decision time for Andrew Hawken, and this Hope offense are going to keep it on the field, Stu.
Good choice.
Set. Yep, I agree. 69%. First down. Motter almost broke it for 6, and he is ankle tackled. Almost took it to the house.
Give credit on that one to number 32. Oh, he's not even on the 2 deep. Oh, yes, he is. Reed Vogler, the freshman. You know, they only have 4 seniors on this team, and so it's a young team. That was a big-time tackle there. That was a touchdown-saving tackle.
Yeah, Vogler, a freshman out of Caledonia. We have a lot of Scots on our team, and Caledonia well represented in college football in Michigan. 1st and 10, picking up the first down this drive. Is the opening drive of this game, eating up almost 6 minutes. Motter bounces to the outside, cuts it back in, diving for the end zone. Touchdown, Dutchman. Cal Motter pounds it in from 10. And for Motter, his 5th touchdown of the season in a very methodical mix of the brush and pass for the Flying Dutchman to lead 6-0.
That's exactly what Andrew Hawken wants to have happen. Timmy Clay and Jeremiah Libema on that right side, and a terrific cutback as they both held their blocks at the line of scrimmage.
Really
what did Hunter Thompson say? Control the line of scrimmage and protect the quarterback, and we'll be fine.
And they did just that. Other than the first play with that fumble recovery by Hope, as the extra point by Caden Balkin is good. 7-0 Hope College. We've got 9:10 remaining in the first quarter. Good stuff so far for the Dutchman as they marched 75 yards in 12 plays with the Cal Motter touchdown rush.
Hope College off to an early lead, 7-0. They're going to kick off, and Calvin will get the ball for the first time. But first, we'll take this short break. You're watching Hope Football on the Anchor Network.
Gentex is a tech company supplying electro-optical products to the global automotive, aerospace, and fire protection industries. With focused competencies in design, vision, displays, software, and more, we're always looking for engineering talent. For our direct hire hourly production positions, we run open interviews Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 at our 58 East Riley facility in Zeeland. And our facilities, benefits, and culture are everything you'd expect from a world-class employer. Now's the time to join Team Gentex.
Welcome back to Hope College, where the Flying Dutch have taken the ball in 5 minutes and 50 seconds on their opening drive, and they lead 7-0 early on here. They're getting ready to kick off. Back with the play-by-play, here's Mike Coleman.
Thank you, Stoop. Alex Stoll, 4 for 5, hitting 3 different receivers on that drive. Here's the return near side, walking the tightrope down the sidelines, and a nifty return for Calvin is Hudson Shoup, averaging almost 24 per return.
Shoup, a freshman from Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte Latin High School, one of the probably traditional classics education high school. You don't see too many of those anymore.
Boy, Calvin is so represented all over the nation as far as student athletes and regular students.
They are indeed. I just did a quick look. They've got students from Texas, Georgia, Canada, New York, Florida, Tennessee, North Carolina, Illinois, and New Mexico.
Empty backfield for Thomas Vaccaro. Pass high off the fingertips. In and out of Hunter Hogan, a former wide receiver, now running back out of Ravenna High School, and the former Bulldog can't lasso it. It'll bring up 2nd and 10 for
So we're going to hear Vaccaro a lot, and he's from Franklin, Tennessee. What's Franklin most famous for? Making the Saturn. That's where General Motors brought their plant to make the Saturn in Franklin.
I can't keep up with you. You're everywhere. You're throwing out Chinese 5 stars of information.
Well, there's more where that came from, Mike Coleman, because we've got 3rd and long.
You know how many athletes that I see from Franklin, Tennessee? There's a plethora in D3 especially.
Well,
and good athletes.
Yeah, Not just that, more after this play.
3rd and 9. Big play for Calvin, early deficit for them. Clock at 8:32 and running. Straight drop by Vaccaro. He's in trouble. He's going to dive forward to the 34. It will not be enough. As chasing him down is Colton Skur, the leading tackler for this Hope defense, with a nice hog tie. It'll be 4th in a punting situation.
Well, we'll get the offensive starters for Calvin in their next possession. But I talked to defensive coordinator Jacob Pardonnet, and I said, what are your thoughts on sort of the stars, Skur and Danch? Because we don't have stars. He said, you go into our locker room. He said, you would never know who the leaders are. He said, we swarm to the ball and we are a team. And he said, that's what he's most proud of.
Quick return, Gavin Reams shaking and baking up the punt from Drake Irwin. A nice return of 15, and Gavin Reams with a nifty return, averaging 11 yards per punt return, best in the MIAA, puts Hope in fine shape from their own 45 for their second scrimmage of this first quarter.
Much better field position here for the Dutch, as they seem to have dominated early on. I think that, if you're Calvin, you want to, you're old enough to remember before the shot clock in basketball. I think they want to extend the game. They want to hold the ball. They want to, make this game like they want to keep the clock running. And so far, that hasn't happened. It's been a Hope kind of game where the ball is turned over and then they're controlling the line of scrimmage.
And to your point, there's the end around. Flea flicker. Pass complete to Alex Thole. Still on his feet, pushed out of bounds. And how about that strategery? Gavin Reams took the pitch, and the lefty lofted one to Thole for his first career reception in a Hope College uniform on the replay. Thole still looking for yard. How about that of your quarterback, Stoop? He could have ran out of bounds after picking up a big chunk play, instead fighting for more yardage.
Well, you know that it's a tough play when you see strength and conditioning coach Dan Margaret getting excited about it, and he absolutely was. But did you know Gavin Reams was left-handed until that play? I don't think I did.
I know, it was like the Princess Bride movie. I am not right-handed. I am left-handed. 1st and 10. Right over the middle, breaking that. Martell lowers his shoulder, brought down. But another big chunk play down to the 21, and A.J. Martell, all 5'10", 195, bulldogs his way down for another first down.
I asked about his running back room on Tuesday when I interviewed the coordinators, and he said, that Mater and Martell have kind of been in and out, being hurt, and that we haven't talked about Goike yet, but he'll get some carries, but he just loves his running back room this year.
I love the depth, and I think it's surprising. It's like a Swiss Army knife. They're all about the same size. They faked the end around, little slay a hand off that right tackle. They faked it to Johnny Rowan Blanton and kept it on the ground to Martell. Picks up 5. That's a play we have not seen this year, Stoop, and that end around with a flea flicker by the wide receiver. We definitely have not seen that play, at least at home.
No, he didn't tell me that. I told him, I said, how big is your call sheet today? He goes, it's the same size, but I haven't seen that play yet. So he added one. He was playing poker with me.
Ever since Andrew Hawkins taken over as the offensive coordinator, now in his 9th season, this is a Hope offense that has averaged almost 38 points per game in his tenure. That is so telling. 2nd and 5 from the 15. Red zone offense for the Flying Dutchman, 83%, 3rd in the MIAA. Man in motion, play action, complete. Working his way towards the middle of the field is Travis Myers, having a busy day already with his second grab, over 20 yards receiving, and another first down for the Orange and Blue.
Gage Jones making another tackle. He's the sophomore from Ludington.
Very active linebacker, 21 tackles. The secret to Calvin is their ability to put pressure on a quarterback. They have 25 sacks coming in, but other than one really solid rush on Thole where he escaped, Thole has had plenty of time to do his thing.
Absolutely.
1st and goal. Straight up the middle. Mater dances, spins, and touchdown. Oh!
Just like we drew it up, that was Trey Goike, actually.
Is it Goike? Thank you, the freshman out of Orchard Lake, St. Mary. And Trey Goike making his presence felt with his 5th rushing touchdown, averaging over 7 yards a carry.
The coaches are definitely buying Trey Goike stock. They absolutely love him. He said Hawkins said he's had a great freshman year. Cal got hurt in the Trine game, and Trey stepped up with some big plays. He's fast. And
explosive.
he can get to the second level really fast, and he has lived up. Hawk said, you know, we knew he was going to be good when he got here, but and he has absolutely lived up to those expectations. We're at 14-0. We're not even through the first frame yet. So we're going to take a break. We'll be back. You are watching Hope Football on the Anchor Network.
Are you thinking about buying, selling, or refinancing? Your title agency matters, and you have a choice. Lighthouse Title started in Holland, Michigan more than 20 years ago and has grown to over 45 locations. We are proud to be local in these communities. Visit Lighthouse Title for more information and use our online widget Louis the Lightkeeper to chat with someone today about how we can help you close on your new home.
A couple people we want to say hello to today, loyal Hope fans, near and far. John and Pat Ticey, listening, watching in South Carolina. We love to see them. They're here almost all the time, except when they're not. And their children and grandchildren are Hope connected, and some of them are Hope grads. So hello to the Ticey family. What's the most famous thing about John Ticey? His best friend is Hall of Famer Jim Cott.
How about that? Thank you, Scott.
I don't know. We don't need to talk about football.
Boy, big long kick. That's going to be a fair catch. Let's keep it right here. I want to give a big shout out to my much better half, Dr. Tamara Coleman, listening in at home. And I had to sign a waiver before the broadcast. Full disclosure, she is a proud Calvin Knight. I call her and her friends the Calvinistas. She's going to be gathering for the 1984 reunion of Grand Rapids Christian. She said there's Hope College fans and alumni in that group, but I think they are outnumbered by the Knights. But I want to give a big shout out to that group tonight.
Particularly that generation, yes.
You bet.
Good choices.
Hey, Doc.
We also want to say hi to Dr. Sonia Trent Brown and her family, Michael. And Michael Jr. is probably not listening because he is at the University of Michigan, but she is our Vice President for Culture and Inclusion, and she is staying warm tonight and watching it from her house in Holland Heights. Thank you, Dr. Trent Brown, for joining us.
Calvin trying to keep it on the ground. Hunter Hogan, third in the league with almost 800 yards. He started out like gangbusters. First 4 games, 100 plus. In each game, he had 2 200-yard games, and he's fallen off a little bit, averaging 5.5. No gain as he is wrapped up. And that rush defense by Hope, the front 4, has been so stout, just 2.4 yards per rush. Brings up 2nd and 10. Man in motion is Hogan once again. Play action. Vaccaro being chased down. Pass complete, but not much as they get to the 30-yard line. As the receiver wrapped up. Hayden Slager's a running back, brought down after a short gain.
We didn't have a chance to check the Calvin offense yet. We did talk about Thomas Vaccaro. He's the quarterback. The running back, Hunter Hogan, he's got more than 2 times the carries as any other of his teammates. He's a 5'10", 183 from Ravenna. And the tight end is Christian from, I got to check the name. Oh, Carter Bilesma from Unity Christian via Dordt University. Sorry, I had the wrong line. Carter Bilesma.
Sister University of Hope College is Dordt. Boy, there's some serious contact going on. There's a pass on the far side to Seth Anderson, the sophomore out of Rockford High School. It'll bring up 4th and short.
Coach Figg's going to go for it. No, he's not. Going to send the special teams in.
Yeah, he's going to. Down 14-0. Trent Figg, he's a great story. Out of the University of Oregon as an offensive analyst for the football team. Took over in 23s in his 2nd year at the helm of Calvin. 2-8 last year, 6-2 this year. But a punting situation.
I have a special place in my heart for quality control and analysts. They work very hard and they make their modest wages, as my son-in-law can attest to.
See how we tied that together, Scott? Nice punt. Gavin Reams backs up. Stutter step at the 25, room to run 30, 35. Middle of the field to the 45, and finally brought down in a shoestring tackle by Gabriel Amid, the sophomore linebacker at Zeeland East, just up the road. And Hope, once again, they started their last drive at the 45. They'll start this one at their own 47, leading 14-0.
So Gavin Reams on punts has averaged 11, and his longest was 52. So if you take that 52 out of the 9 he's had very modest returns, but he's been very effective here so far, both on kicks and punts.
Yeah, the 52-yarder was against Loras in game 1. Real quick, too, Stoop, I got to say hi to Captain Robert Chase, retired captain, Air Force veteran, listening up in Empire, and he's checking in today. Robert, thanks for holding the fort up there, my friend. First down off the left tackle. Cal Motter brought down by 3 white jerseys. I like this. I talked about the cookie cutter running back, Scott. Everybody's 5'10", 195. Noah Dunkel, Cal Motter, right down the line. Trey Goike, A.J. Martell. It's like they just pressed them out in the Jim Heringa Athletic Center and brought them out on the field.
They did indeed, and they all have complementary strengths, and but they're a lot more similar than last year with the Fire and Ice.
Yes.
Strickland and, oh boy.
And Amos.
Amos, thank you.
You bet. Second down and a long 3. Thole, flip over the middle, complete. And Johnny Rowan Blanton is slammed down violently, but not before picking up the first down. Wow, that was rough. Carson Schnerstein, the sophomore out of Portage Central.
Big tackle. And he fooled me. I went with the runner there. I went with the fake, and Thole hit the ball very well.
You know what I like about Thole, too? We talk about the receivers, the plethora of receivers he goes to, but he passes a lot to his running backs out of the backfield, which I find very refreshing is this aspect of his offense.
Indeed.
1st and 10 from the Calvin 34. 2-score lead for the Flying Dutchman, trying to make it 3 for 3 in scoring drives in this early going. Thole airs it out. He's going deep, end zone variety, and we got contact as the receiver went down, and no flag, inadvertent contact.
I think we're going to go with catchable ball there. That ball was a little deep, and I've got support on that from Holland Sentinel's Dan Diadana, who also is giving the catchable ball signal for all of us.
I know it's like an air traffic controller on the ground. I'm trying to. I don't remember all the signals, but I knew that one. Danny Diadana, our eye in the sky up here in the press box. Holland Sentinel, longtime sports writer and all-around nice guy. Second down, swing pass out to Motter. Not much, but he dives forward for a few down to the 32. And there's that receiver reception by the running back. It'll bring up, check that, 1 yard. 3rd and 9 for the Flying Dutchman.
Yeah, this is a 3rd and long. They have only had that one time in the first drive. I said there were 8 or 9 receivers that Thole was feeding. I was wrong. 19 people have had a catch so far in Hope College this season.
Incredible. Well, the defense for Calvin's been on the field quite a bit today. 21 plays for Hope, just 6 for the Calvin offense. 3rd down and 9, 2 for 3 on that category today. Travis Myers in motion. He has 2 grabs. We got some motion on the line. Calvin's saying illegal procedure, and Hope's backing up, and that is the fact. First penalty of the day goes against the Dutchman.
All-star offense, number 59, 5 yards.
Down. 2 teams that aren't penalized much. Both are pretty disciplined.
Yeah, I think Hope averages. They've had 40 penalties on the year. That's not
a lot.
Not bad.
And I remember last year in Hope's 38-7 victory at Grand Rapids Christian High School. It was a lot of penalties, a lot of emotion. A little subdued today in that department. 3rd and 15. Once again, Myers in motion. All the receivers to the right. 3rd and long. Thole in trouble. Eludes a jersey tackle, roaming right. Hit as he throws. That one is complete. Caden DeHorn breaks a tackle. 20, near side. Corner of the end zone. Dives forward. Is he in? Stopped at the 1 yard line. Diving for the pylon near side. And he broke the tackle at the 20 yard line and used that big frame to make things happen.
CJ Sheets, a junior from Longwood, Florida, almost blew up that play, but Alex Thole was just 50 millimeters ahead of him, and he was able to break it. So that was great.
Boy, Thole showing his strength. I mean, not a huge quarterback, 5'10", 190, but he was crouched and he got out of the jersey tackle. And we've got a timeout on the field with Hope threatening, leading 14-0. Check the end of the quarter.
We'll take a 30-second break. After that, we will be back. Hope leads, commanding lead, 14-0 after 1 frame. This is Hope Football on the Anchor Network.
Sports, like healthcare, requires commitment, teamwork, and excellence. That's why Hope College selected Holland Hospital and Shoreline Orthopedics to provide athletic training and physical therapy for all Hope College athletes. Get the care you deserve. Trust the team that exceeds expectations. The Holland Hospital and Shoreline Orthopedics Sports Medicine Collaborative.
Make a difference together.
Special thanks to our crack staff. Our students are great. We got Jake Johnson, our director, leading us all. Audra Woolman on replay. Thank you, Audra. She and I hung out at volleyball last night way longer than we thought we were, as that one went 5 sets. Genesis Lambrecht on our what our boss calls medium shots. Evan Miedema, Meads. What's your favorite class, Evan? He's on wide shots, Unity Christian grad, getting to watch all of his classmates play. Quinn Vanderkamp on field camera. And Emma Urich has a very special role. And it's on the list. It's called Audio Once Freddie Leaves.
Really?
Wow. I didn't know people could leave early. No one checked with me.
Huh, why is Freddie leaving early?
The boss gets he must be union or something.
No overtime this week. There's no overtime. First and goal. Hope pounds it in on the ground. Touchdown, Dutchman. A.J. Martell knocks it down. And it's 20-0. Opening seconds of the second frame.
Hope College dominating wire to wire so far. That one just kind of looked too easy, as that one actually went off the left side and really in the A gap between the center and the guard. And as Hunter Thompson said, control the line of scrimmage and protect the passer, and that's exactly what they've done so far.
Billy Sternberg, the H-back, went from right to left to help create that seam, and now Caden Balkin almost blocked. Good effort by the special teams, but he pounds that through. 21-0, 14:57 remaining until halftime. Scott, you know, when we don't do a broadcast for a couple of weeks, you know, and now we're back after 3 weeks from our last home game, there's a lot going on. You talked to Sturzma about the Adrian game. Caden Balkin, who was 0 for 4 on the season coming in from 40 to 49 yards, not only hits his first 40-plus field goal, but it was a career best of 45 with room to spare to defeat Adrian on the road in what we knew would be a great contest. It was just a fantastic game 2 weeks ago.
And he was only, I mean, on the year, he's only 5 for 10. He's a good kicker, but he's not. Yeah, but if you talk to Sturzman, as we did before the game, he said, you know, we were completely calm. We had that tough holding call on Lumen, and we just never phased. And I asked Hawkins, I said, come on the headset, you guys must have been a little nervous. Sturzman must be saying something on the camera then. He goes, no, to be honest with you, we were just thinking we were moving the ball. Hawk says, as a matter of fact, Stoop, I thought that was not the last time we'd get the ball. Like, you know, there's still 7 minutes left. I thought there might be another couple punts, but he said we just kept moving, and it was very exciting.
And then they follow it up with a 62-0 victory over Albion. At Albion, the most points ever scored against Albion and the biggest margin of victory. And it's an offense that's scored 50-plus in 3 of their last 4 games. That big win over Trine with 55. And then other than the 19-burger against Adrian, you had the 62 and the Kalamazoo game as well, over 50 points.
Hope College is proud to welcome our alumni H Club members back to campus this weekend. Athletic alumni who completed 1 full season on an intercollegiate team at Hope College are members of the H Club. The reporting I've had, it turns out, is that if you're the 11th man on a 12-man JV team in 1983, you are not eligible for an H Club blanket. I have filed my grievance, but I'm still waiting to hear back.
Do you have representation?
I don't. I'm going pro se, and I can't get anyone. You know, Schoonveld's up here. He didn't have a blanket for me earlier.
Tim Schoonveld, our athletic director, was providing some I wouldn't say angst, but or giving you the business, but he's trying to keep you honest up here before the game.
Well, there was some discussion about the decibel level of the pregame volleyball. And he told me I had become Old Man River, but I couldn't hear myself think. It was too loud.
Get off my lawn. How about Calvin trying to pick up their first down of the game, 3rd and 2. They have been stymied. This is just their 9th play of this day. Hope has 23 on 3rd down. Keep it on the ground. They're not going to get it. They're not going to get it. Colton Skur.
And Caleb Parlberg.
Caleb Parlberg has started every game in his career. 41st game all starts. It'll be 4th and 2 and a punting situation.
That is so hard to do. And I promise on the next Calvin possession, we're going to get the starters.
That's right.
My apologies. But I'm going to be focused next time. But it's been fairly quick turnaround, so that's a little bit in my defense.
It's like climbing that rope in gym class. You got to go up 20 feet, hit the beam. I could never do it.
Yeah, I'm getting the starters. I'm getting the starters on the next possession.
Here's the punt. Short kick. Not really a shank, but it was sky high, and it gets a Hope bounce. And Hope, once again, for the third time, will have a possession start 40-yard line or better on their side of the football.
That looked like a lob wedge that might be at the
56 degree, yeah.
Well, at the club that you managed in the summer in Empire, Michigan, which, as we all know, has a population of 356 people.
Well, yeah.
Today it's 355 because you're
right. That's right. My wife Tamara down here with me today, so Scott did the math correctly.
Did you have to? You have a gold game this weekend?
I had one last night. Okay. Yes.
You've been
Grand
a busy
Rapids
guy.
Gold. One over Noblesville Boom last night in the first of 50 games. G League basketball. Thole wrapped down at the 42. Good pressure. One of the best times of pressure that Calvin has provided this year.
It was a good coverage sack, you know.
It was.
His first two options there were deep, and they just couldn't develop it in time.
C.J. Sheets with a nice tackle.
Hope fans, you're invited to use the new Hope College ticketing system in order to order single game tickets and family passes for upcoming events. Purchase one family pass for $30 or 5 for $100. Use the family passes at any Hope event in the upcoming winter season. Tickets available at tickets.hope.edu. Or for those of you who still have a telephone that you use to call people, call 616-395-7890.
Thank you, Stoops. Second down and 9, straight up the middle to Cal Mater. Not much, a yard. It'll bring up 3rd and 8. 3 rushing touchdowns for the Flying Dutchman. One by Mater, one by Martell, and one by freshman Trey Goike. Now the Flying Dutchman with a 3rd and long. Rolling, looking to air it out. Thole dumps it near side. He fights DeHorn. First down, forced out near side at the 43. Thole biding his time, a little flip shot to DeHorn, and DeHorn making his second career start already with his second grab of the day. And Hope moves the chains on 3rd and long.
That was, that's really hard to do because he had to avoid the rush. He had to reset. And then he had to look for his 3rd option, and it was just perfect timing. I mean, it looked easy, but that's a really hard play to execute.
Sure is. By the way, checking in from St. Bart's is our director, Phil Blau, on a Caribbean cruise. He's sitting on a beach somewhere with an umbrella drink, and I hope it's not too humid for you, Phil, as Thole fumbles it, picked up, streaking down the sideline. Calvin's going to pick it up, and they're going to score. I don't see any flags, Stu.
I think Hope's going to want that to be an incomplete pass.
I don't know if he just lost it or it was an underhand flip pass.
It looked like he was trying to throw it.
Agreed.
And we're going to...
Let's look at the replay when we get there.
But it looked like he threw it. He kind of threw it underhand. I guess we'll have to go to the what the definition of a pass is. And it wasn't well executed no matter what it was. And I don't think there's even really going to be a whole lot of argument here. It kind of looked like a pass. We'll take a look here.
I think he was trying to flip it to a...
Oh, maybe he can't advance a fumble.
Oh, they're going to bring it back.
Yep, there we go. Yep. So you got to pick your poison. Do you want an incomplete pass or do you want fumble? I think that's still a better deal for Calvin, but I don't think you can advance a fumble. So
okay, there we go. So it'll be Calvin's football. So
First and 10 for Calvin.
This is why we've hired Dan Diodana on the research team. They ruled that he stepped out of bounds. So it was a fumble.
So he advanced. He stepped out of bounds at the 43 of Hope. Thank you, Danny D. First and 10, Vaccaro, 2-step drop, fires complete at the 40 and wrapped up. Short gain, but positive yardage for Calvin.
Now, what I want to know is Dan Dianana, who's sitting between the two broadcast crews, is he feeding the same stuff to Bob Sack and Jason Hutton? Where does his loyalty lie? I think we need to investigate that.
He's the Black Forest ham between the rye bread right now is what I'm looking at. 2nd down and 6. Vaccaro in trouble, just heaves it. No receiver in sight. I wouldn't be surprised if we got an intentional grounding call.
Inside the tackle box, we'll see. They usually think about
Peter
this.
Sturzma looking for the flag.
So is Dan Margaret.
Dan
Margaret's got his rally towel out. There we go.
Yeah.
That one always comes late. We'll listen to the white hat here, Mr. Bob Foss.
Wow, Vaccaro just had nowhere to go. He was in crisis mode.
Intentional grounding. Offense, number 13. Lost him down at the spot of the foul. 3rd down.
Okay, so I've been waiting on this. Franklin, Tennessee.
Yes.
You said they were good athletes, but really, lots of famous people besides Thomas Vaccaro. Miley Cyrus, Kenny Chesney, and Carrie Underwood were all born in Franklin, Tennessee, as was professional golfer Brant Snedeker.
Isn't it a suburb of Nashville?
It is.
Okay.
It's where they set up the Saturn plant when GM moved the Saturn production down there. Nice
Diving
play.
for the first down. So it's not as though it's a sleepy hamlet of 1800 and all
No.
those famous people just happen to
not.
morph out of there.
And it turns out that Thomas Vaccaro is not even the most famous football player coming out of Franklin. That honor would go to, this is a name you might recognize, C.J. Beathard. He grew up in Franklin. He played 4 years at the University of Iowa, started at quarterback, played for the 49ers for 4 years, 3 years for the Jaguars, and as of last night, he is on the practice squad of the Detroit Lions.
How about that? I
So
did
he's
not know that.
So Thomas Vaccaro is not even the most famous quarterback from Franklin, Tennessee, who lives in Michigan.
1st and 10.
That is a powerful town.
Spot at the 33-yard line. It's a 1st down.
So 1st down for Calvin. Their first official 1st down of this contest. I want to go back to our shout out to Phil Blau. I hope that interruption didn't interrupt your beverage, Phil, on the beach. So have a great time, my friend. We'll see you next week. Vaccaro keeping it on the ground.
Nice play.
And he works his way down on the 25. Vaccaro showing some nice footwork with some leg work on the rush. He's capable, that's for sure.
Calvin does not have a 1st down yet. They must
picked
now.
up their first,
they
yes.
got to hit reset on my stats.
Vaccaro, the transfer from Samford University. Now tight on the corners on 2nd down and 2. Play action. Vaccaro has time now flushed up by Powerborg, and he just takes it over the line of scrimmage, gets a block downfield, forced out of bounds. 1st down. Good vision by Vaccaro as the sophomore quarterback, redshirt sophomore, moves the chains for Calvin.
This is a good drive for the Knights. They're establishing that they can move on the Dutch because the first 17 minutes they did not.
Started at the Hope 45 on the turnover for the Flying Dutchman. Two teams that really don't turn the ball over much. Hope 2nd in the conference at just 8 turnovers. Give them 9 now. 1st and 10 from the Hope 13. Vaccaro wants to air it out once again. Has plenty of time. Scrambling. Moves right. Throws a bullet, a worm burner down to the intended receiver. That's going to miss everybody, incomplete.
We need a chance to do the offensive starters here for, let's start with the offensive line. Braden Steinbacher, Andrew Berg, and Wyatt Young are part of the regular. And then on 2 deep, they have 2 substitutions in there, taking the place of Jaden Fless and Michael Liggett. And they did a great job on that in protecting Mr. Vaccaro.
Yeah, we were talking to Calvin announcer Bob Sack. You've got 2 starters that are missing for an injury and a capable backup. Corner end zone. Austin Harvey ties up Luke Mishmerheisen. Mishmerheisen, the leading receiver for Calvin Stoop out of Holland Christian. Fantastic athlete, 6'7" receiver. We held him in check last year, and he is without a grab this year so far in this one.
I know Coach Sturzma was very nervous about him. He's an NFL kind of frame, 6'7", 225. Great opportunity for him to play in front of his hometown. The other receivers, Seth Anderson from Rockford, and Jude Klunder, 6 foot, 160 sophomore from Grand Rapids Christian.
3rd down and 10, 1 for 3 on the day for Calvin. Straight drop, fire over the middle, just led Mishmerheisen too much as Harvey, who's giving away about 8 inches on that coverage, trailing. It'll bring up 4th down, and the field goal unit comes out for Calvin, just trying to get something on the board with 8:32 left in the first half.
Just to complete that starting lineup, Thomas Vaccaro, the redshirt sophomore, Franklin, Tennessee via Samford, and then Hunter Hogan, 5'10", 183 from Ravenna, and then Carter Bilesma, 6'2", 230, Unity Christian via Dordt University of Sioux Center, Iowa.
And the kick is up, and that kick is denied. Logan Knapp came into the season 0 for 3 from 30 to 39 yards, and the streak continues.
He just pulled it wide, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Hope College will get a chance to take over on downs, and they will come out here led by quarterback Alex Stoll.
That's crazy. I got to mention this. Logan Knapp, from 40 to 49, he's 2 for 3, but he just can't hit the middle range field goal. It's just been his bugaboo.
Is that like someone who can bomb a 300-yard drive, but
right.
doesn't? Okay.
I
don't golf, but I know you're into golf.
Oh, nothing like that.
I'm trying to.
I've never heard of the 300-yard drive before from my driver, but nothing like chunking a wedge after a nice 220-yard drive. 1st and 10. Hope keeps it on the ground. Martell running hard. As you see Calvin trying to bat that football out of the hands of Martell. Big yardage, 2nd down and 2.
More than 500 students participate in Hope's athletic program each year. Our athletes and coaches are passionate about using sport, academic, and service to shape their time at Hope. You can join their team by making a gift to the Orange and Blue Fund, which Jill and I proudly do a couple times a year. Gifts are used to enhance the student-athlete experience, as well as providing access to college for all Hope students. For more information, go to hope.edu/wait for it, orange and blue.
Thank you, Stoop. On 2nd down, bullying his way for the 1st down is Cal Motter. It's been a steady diet of Motter and Martell, both with 6 carries in this one. Hope averaging 4.5 yards per carry against a Calvin defense that gives up just 3.5 yards per rush. That is 3rd best in the MIAA.
And how about this for sort of poetic outcomes? 3 rushing touchdowns, 1 by Motter, 1 by Martell, 1 by Goike.
Yeah, fantastic balance. You go with the 3-headed monster. Blitz is on. Thole in trouble, but he's able to get it out to Trevor Griffiths, who's tried to dance his way out of trouble, squeezes between 2 white jerseys up to the 45. And Trevor Griffiths, his activity after the catch is impressive. His 20th nab of the year. Good for a 1st down.
They call that the yak. That's his 2nd of the day, and Hope's drive continues.
Griffiths had a touchdown reception last week in the 62-0 victory. Hope has had highs of 62 against Loras in a shutout and 62 against Albion in a shutout. That's called Vujade all over again, Scott. 1st and 10 from their own 45. Clock at 6:39 and counting. Hope up comfortably. Left tackle. Motter leaps over a Calvin defender down to the 35, and you heard the ooh and the ah of the Hope fans underneath us as he picks up his largest rush of the day. Good for, what do we got? We've got 22 yards and a 1st down pickup. Big hole off the left side, and great activity by Kemper Mills and Brett Showers creating that space.
Andrew Hawken is so proud of his line. I asked him to identify some unsung heroes or MVPs that you didn't know about, and he said, I just want to say all 5 guys up front. He said they work so hard and they get very little recognition.
Right tackle, Motter once again. He's over the 60-yard mark. You know what I like about that front 5, to your point, Scott? You talk about Andrew Hawkins' line. These are guys that combined they have 63 starts, which with 5 is not a lot of activity. But they got a lot of action as underclassmen. They worked their way up. And we lost 2 bookends at tackle, Luke Marsh and Dylan Clem. And Dylan Clem was a 2-time All-American. So to replace those guys, their shoes, I think the 5 here have done very, very well this year on 2nd and 4. On the ground once again, Hope just content to keep it on the ground as Trey Goike coughs it up at the Calvin 24.
I think they call him down.
Yeah, he was. It looked like he was down, but he had the ball forced out. Oh, a strip. That was a great play by Reed Vogler with the strip, the cornerback.
So are we? If we had video, would you overturn that, or was he down by contact?
I don't know. I think it was awful close. It was a bang play. We saw the replay, but hard to tell if it's not in slow motion. We don't have the benefit of that. But the Dutchmen, with their 3rd fumble of the day, and they've lost 1.
thanks to our replay. You know, I know who's doing replay. Is it Secor who's doing replay? Oh, Audra's doing replay. Yep. She's not on the list, Freddie. How can I?
Sorry,
there
Audra.
she is. No, she is.
Thole, quick flip, complete. Johnny Rowan Blanton dives towards the 15.
Alex Thole is wearing the orange and blue for the first time this year. But he is not inexperienced. He started at Tarleton State, which is a Texas A&M branch campus, Division II, then went to Grand Valley and got some snaps at Grand Valley. Tarleton is in a little town called Stevensville, Texas, and that is the only football team in town. Ranger College is the other school there. They don't have football, but they have rodeo. And the rodeo team of Ranger College is competing today against the Vernon College rodeo team in NCAA rodeo. Well, it might not be NCAA rodeo. I don't know what kind of rodeo, but Ranger College up against Vernon College in rodeo.
How about that?
Well, it's where, I mean, I don't think Alex Thole knows that, but he used to hang out down there when he worked at Tarleton State.
He was in the midst.
I don't think he was on, he probably didn't go to the rodeo matches. Probably busy with football.
Well, speaking of Thole, he got wrapped up.
Wrapped up like a rodeo. You see? Peas and carrots.
He had 8 seconds to get rid of the football. But he was wrapped up. 3rd down and 13.
Cue the Garth Brooks song.
They call that a sack. Thole's been sacked twice in this game. 3rd and 13, their longest conversion try of the year. And we got a timeout on the field with 3:05 left until halftime. 21-0, Flying Dutchman.
That'll give us a chance to take a break. Hope with a 3-score lead, 3:05 left in the half. You're watching Hope Football on the Anchor Network.
Hope students come from diverse backgrounds, ready to create an environment where truth is sought, all voices are amplified, and challenges are met with determination and confidence. The Hope student body is ready to change the world.
Want to say hello to some special guests who are listening here. My former boss, interim provost at Hope College, Dr. Karen Nordell Pearson, who now is executive director of Kids Hope USA and a football mom. She spent a lot of cold Friday nights this fall watching the West Ottawa Panthers, and she reminds me, Vanderstoop announced the Calvin starting lineup. Dr. Pearson, I have done such. So we are now ready for play-by-play with Mr. Mike Coleman.
Thank you, Stoop. Thanks, everybody. Calvin, Hope fans checking in today on YouTube. Griffiths in motion, 3 stacked right side for Thole. Drop. Calvin bringing the house. Thole in trouble. And he's going to get wrapped up at the 37. That one had danger all over it. And finally finished off by Caden McCullough, the linebacker, but he certainly had some help. Schnurstein in as well.
Well, Gage Jones came in the A-gap blitz, and this is exactly the kind of thing Calvin wants to do. And one of the things Andrew Hawkins was worried about, he said, they want to disrupt us, they want to make chaos, they want to give us a whole bunch of different looks, and frankly, it's working on that drive. Is this the first punt of the day for Hope College?
Little momentum defensively for Calvin as Noah Dunkel, the sophomore from Williamston, trying the pooch kick. And that one is fair caught at the 10-yard line. And Calvin has 90 yards to pay dirt. Hoping to command 21-0. But a good stop for the Knights defensively. And I think if you're down like this, Scott, you're just looking for any little acorn that you can feast on when you're down big.
Yeah, it's still a long way to go. Dunkel has been a very successful punter. He has not been a booming punter. His longest was 52, and he's averaged 36. But the way he holds that ball in those short-range kicks, that's exactly what he needed to do. He got it up there and had the lob wedge right when he needed it.
And he's had 8 inside the 20-yard line. That leads the conference. So he does his job. He'll get some running back carries in big games, too, when games are out of hand. Vaccaro in trouble. Room to run. Plenty of green over the 20. And he is wrapped up at the 26-yard line. One of the biggest plays of the day for Calvin. And as they are moving with hurried anticipation with the clock winding down, tackled by Debris. And now a timeout.
I think that's going to be our 2-minute
Yes, it is.
timeout. We're not allowed to call a 2-minute warning in college. That's a 2-minute timeout. So we're going to take another 30-second break. We'll be back with the last 2 minutes of the first half. You're watching Hope Football on the Anchor Network. Thomas Vaccaro, the leading rusher, 6 attempts for 39 yards, averaging 6.5, including his longest, which was that last one at 15. I don't know if that was designed as a quarterback draw, but that was an athletic and gutty play by the redshirt sophomore from Franklin, Tennessee.
Well, he's certainly capable. 69 rushes on the year. That's third on his team, and he saw some open field. But this is a passing offense for Calvin, especially in MIAA play, that has had trouble getting on track. Just 200 passing yards per game. That's last in conference. He's 5 of 9 today for 21. Now he'll tuck it and run. Once again, he's got some blockers downfield, and finally dragged down from behind by Jake Punches, a defensive tackle running up to make the stop, but he moves it all the way to Calvin's 40.
I don't think that was a planned run, but he makes the decision very quickly to tuck and go. Smart choice.
1st and 10, hurrying to the line on the shotgun snap. Vaccaro, happy feet, launches it, a wounded duck, intercepted. Intercepted by Lorenzo Vitti, his 2nd of the year, and that stymies the Calvin momentum.
Pass is intercepted by number 1, Keaton Hendricks.
That one had trouble written all over it.
Yeah, and Vaccaro, the last 3 possessions, the first 2 were successful because he tucked it and he ran, but in that particular one, it just wasn't. It wasn't in the cards, and I think that was, he had to run because our coverage was so good, and I think the routes were deep, so he didn't have enough time. And we'll have to check that. Was that?
That was Vitti.
Was Vitti, or was it? It wasn't Keaton Hendricks.
I'm sorry, Keaton Hendricks. Yes,
the freshman from Zeeland West.
Sorry.
Say hello to the Hendricks family who are watching in Zeeland. They're probably here, but
yes,
watching it on a replay. Keaton Hendricks.
That might be his first career interception. We'll put the research department on that. But thank you, Stu, for that. Yes, Vitti wears number 2, and on 1st and 10, Travis, Johnny Rowan Blanton, check that, is using good speed. He's dragged out. That'll stop the clock with 1:29 left to go in the first half. You know, if you're Hope, you'd love to get some sort of production points out of this last drive after that turnover.
6th reception by Rowan Blanton.
2nd and 2 for the Flying Dutchman.
And the clock is stopped. Hope College Athletics would like to thank the following anchor partners for their generous support of our athletic program: Gentex Corporation, Holland BPW, Holland Hospital, Shoreline Orthopedics, Lighthouse Title, LVZ Financial Planning, and XYZ Motors.
2nd and 2. Thole steps up, quick flip, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. Boy, just the power in Thole's arm, just with the flick of the wrist, but too much. That's incomplete, intended for Travis Myers. 3rd down and 2.
I think on that play, C.J. Sheets beat his opponent, which might have been center Rob McAleese, I'm not sure. But you don't see that happen very often with that front 5. So credit to Mr. Sheets for a nice play that forced a hurried throw.
By the way, that interception, the 16th of the year for the Flying Dutchman, the first career interception for Keaton Hendricks. How about that? Freshman out of Zeeland West, who are continuing to roll in the high school playoffs. They'll play the Red Arrows of Lowell this coming weekend at Lowell on grass turf.
Yeah, that was the chatter pregame.
It was.
Somebody was running a high school podcast from up here. Want to say special hello to our retired business manager at Hope College, Mr. Doug Van Dyken. Hope College class of 1987, retired last December, to 3 wonderful children, 2 of whom played. One of them played football, and the other was a baseball player for Coach Stu Fritz. Hello, Doug. Thanks for joining us tonight.
And hello, Fritzy, wherever you are. By the way, scores 21-0. Thole fleshed out. He has a receiver deep, and that one tipped at the last minute. A touchdown-saving deflection.
Caden Kolonowski, the sophomore from Goodrich, made a huge play. That was a touchdown-saving tap.
By the way, we've had help from many sources tonight. Greg Chandler, longtime Lakeshore announcer, just sent me a text. Keaton Hendricks set a high school finals record with 6 touchdowns in last year's state final for Zeeland West against Detroit Martin Luther King. 6 touchdowns.
Wow.
And now he's on
and
the
who was that?
defensive.
Greg who?
Greg Chandler.
Chandler. Oh, okay. I'll have to look him up. I hear. Is he a new guy? New guy in broadcasting?
He's an up-and-coming guy. Only 31 years of broadcast experience. 2nd and 10. Give to Rowan Blanton. He's racing for the sideline. He's trying to angle for the first down at the 34.
They're going to wave him for first
Yes,
down.
they are.
Nice delayed route there by Rowan Blanton.
It was really nice. 2 timeouts left for the Flying Dutchman. They'd love 6, so they'd love to tack on at least a field goal attempt as Jack Golke checks in. The tight end out of Grand Blanc, Seth Lumen, checks out. You've got Rowan Blanton, you've got Golke and Myers lined up on the near side, right side on 1st and 10 from the Calvin 34. Thole's been practical as usual, 14 of 18 on the low snap. He wants the home run ball. He's got a receiver far side and a big tip away. We've got a Calvin defender down.
I think that might be Kolanowski. Could be Caleb Dubowski. No,
yes,
he's
Dubowski.
No, he's the wide receiver. It's got to be the other number 0. Kai Honig, the linebacker, the sophomore from Weatherford, Texas, perhaps.
Kai
This
Honig.
is why old guys shouldn't announce night football, Coleman.
Absolutely true.
Where they could put us out in the cold. You want to go out in the cold?
It's cold enough in here, Scott. Yeah. Well, he's down on the far side. We believe that is Kai Honig, the sophomore out of Weatherford, Texas, a linebacker who was stride for stride with the wide receiver.
It was a great play. Oh, he's up.
Good. Probably just got the wind knocked out of him. Good to see. So he's all right, but a big play stops the clock with 58 seconds left till half. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, that was a terrific play in man coverage, and it was well thrown. I mean, that play had to be made, or it was going to be a touchdown.
You look at the score, you look at the numbers. Alex Thole's been sacked 3 times. Hope does give up the occasional sack, but he's 14 of 19 for $162. They've got all their scoring on the ground, but he's been very efficient. Calvin has forced a few fumbles. Thole now bounces off trouble. Looking, firing, one-handed grab. Seth Lumen with the acrobatic catch.
Hello.
Razzle and the dazzle.
Woo! What a
Hello,
play.
Lumen.
You know, if you're Calvin's defense, you've got to be pleased with what you're seeing. I mean, Alex Thole is a very gifted and athletic quarterback. He's going to make those plays, but they're forcing him to get out of his comfort zone, and they're making us make great plays like that one. So I think this second half of the first half has been a noticeable mark of achievement for Calvin.
I agree. It's definitely been 2 different circumstances. 1st and 10, 6th grab of the year for Lumen. One of the greatest blockers that you will see. Pass complete as they go to Caden DeHorn. Another grab for him. The big man hauls it in on the far side. And Caden DeHorn having himself a day. He had 5 catches for 85 yards last week in the win over Albion, both career highs for him. And he stops the clock. This is very practical, methodical, hitting those sideline stoop and saving that clock.
Not unlike the last drive against Adrian. Just keep chunking away.
7 minutes left. I don't know how many plays were in that drive against Adrian.
93 yards.
By the way, Caden DeHorn, another Caledonia Scot that we always allude to. 2nd down and 2. Plenty of time for Thole, and now he's being pressured, and he's just going to heave it out of bounds.
Don't get sacked.
As he is knocked down at the 40 and helped up. Little how do you do?
Hats off to the sportsmanship by Caden McCullough.
Yes.
Knocked Thole on his can, and the sophomore from Allendale said, "Let me help you up, fellow football player." Great play there.
Well, you're looking at the 13-yard line. You've got 3rd down and 3. Should you fall short, you're talking a 30-yarder well within Caden Balkin's range. 1 of 2 from 30 to 39, but we'll see what kind of magic Thole can dial up on 3rd down. 5 of 7 on the night, I should say, for the Flying Dutchman. Pass complete. Travis Myers, 1st down. Stiff arm brought down. Another try of a strip of the football away, but Myers hangs on at the 6, and Hope might have to burn a timeout here with 24 seconds left.
Myers had him in single coverage and was able to elude, and then the pursuit was able to bring him down, but now it's 1st and goal at the 5, and Hope is going to take another timeout. And we'll keep it right here as we never know exactly what's going to happen. You know, we talked a little bit about postseason. I don't want to bore you with talk of logistic regression and Markov models. You've heard that 100 times. Mike Coleman, you're bored by that. One thing I will tell you is there are 27 conferences with automatic qualifiers. The NESCAC, perhaps the most prestigious Division III conference in all of football, in all of Division III football, has not historically sent a team. They don't play anything but league games. There are 10 teams in the league. They play 9 games. They start a week later. They end a week later. Until next year, when they will go in and be eligible. But from what I've read from the NESCAC, they're still going to be an at-large. So I don't know if they'll be moving from 27 to 28. But that means this year there are 13 at-large bids. And according to the NPI, it looks like Hope's sitting at about 9. 9's inside of 13, so I think there's a good chance.
Yes, it does. They're in a comfortable spot, to be certain. Low snap, Thole picks it up. Far side, corner. Nice breakup as DeHorn, the intended receiver. And once again, Caden Kolanowski, the Goodrich High School product. That's up by the Thumb area, or by the Saginaw Bay area.
Yeah, or is it Genesee County? We'll put the research team on that.
Is it? Now I got to look it up. Now I got to get a map of Michigan. I should have brought my atlas.
Hold on.
Everything's a teachable moment here, folks. But 2nd down and 6 for the Flying Dutchman, trying to punch it in with 18 seconds remaining. Hope has 1 timeout left. Calvin has 3.
They have 2 now.
They have 2 now. Calvin's going to burn one.
Smart timeout. Goodrich, you owe me ice cream. Genesee County, population 2,022. And they're in the 8-1-0, so they are.
Okay.
I think Genesee County's got to be closer to Flint.
Explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old. Okay.
Okay, logistic regression.
Oh, I'm thinking of
Markov
Reese.
model.
I'm thinking of Reese. Forget it. That's a whole nother onion. Goodrich is south and east of Flint.
Next week we will be featuring Farwell, Michigan, and we will be talking about possible restaurants to eat in Farwell, Michigan, population 899. And so you'll want to join us and tune in for that as well.
What
so
do you take a culinary
road
trip?
No, it's just near Clare, and it's
Coleman.
the home of Jake Punchess, and so I've never been to Farwell. And
Have you ever been to Coleman, Michigan?
Never been to Coleman either.
Coleman Comets. No relation. 2nd down and goal. Play action. Wide open. Touchdown. Sky Vanderkyle, is that right?
The big man with his first catch of the day.
Sky Vanderkyle.
What a play, what a fake. Everybody fell for the fake. And the big man from Zeeland hauls it in for his first catch of the day.
He's 4th of the year now. This is another one we got to do a little digging. This for Sky, this might be his first career touchdown for Sky. How about that with 14 seconds left? The play action was beautifully drawn up by Thole. Now to try to make it 28-0. Balkin is up and he drills it through the uprights, taking advantage of some late minute magic, and it's all Hope in the first half.
You know, skies, the skies are filled with the Great Lakes fireworks, thanks to everyone who brought those to us from Great Lakes Fireworks. Only his 4th catch of the year. He played a lot, got some catches last year, but I think he's been, he's had some injuries, and it's just a lot of guys. You know, there's only one football out there, and so big night for Sky with his 4th of the season and first touchdown of the year. Congratulations to the Zeeland native.
First career touchdown has been confirmed. How about that? Zeeland, West and East have been well represented tonight. Hudson, you talked about Hudsonville Unity Christian, and you looked up Calvin's numbers. The Crusaders all over the map as far as the rosters rule teams, especially for Calvin's Duke. What do you got numbers-wise for them?
They got 7 from Unity. They got 5 from Holland Christian. Welcome home to all of those players. 4 from Grand Rapids. 4 from Chicago Christian in Palos Heights. And 27 total who went to a Christian school of some kind. So they are recruiting well from the West Michigan base.
Wow, a speedy return and a massive hit. I'm trying to get a number on that initial contact. And for the Flying Dutchman, I believe that was, well, we got 220. It's either Tyler Gavette out of Middleville, throwing up a Kellogg's, or Caden Brownell, the senior out of Ionia. But a good special teams tackle, and just 8 seconds left for the Calvin University Knights to do anything. Wouldn't be surprised if they just took a knee. But what do they got to lose? I mean, they fire one up.
Yeah,
4-man rush.
Let it go.
And they do. Vaccaro as he's wrapped up at the 30.
Both quarterbacks has done their fair share of eluding
Boy,
running.
they have.
The leading defenses. And credit to both defenses. We got one half in the books of the Rivalry Gridiron Edition. Hope is rolling Calvin 28-0 in the first half with 3 rushing touchdowns and 1 running touchdown. We are going to take a break, and we're going to roll some material for you, and we are going to give our camera crew a chance to come in and get some hot chocolate, and we will take a break ourselves. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. Keep this screen open, and we will be back. You've been watching Hope College Football on the Anchor Network.
Cancer, we're coming for you. Parkinson's, your days are numbered. Alzheimer's, we're zeroed in on you too. Because at Van Andel Institute, the world's best minds are working relentlessly to eradicate these diseases forever. By advancing the boldest innovations, achieving breakthroughs, and transforming lives. Because the most powerful way to fight diseases, never stop fighting. Van Andel Institute, innovation unleashed.
The River Place in downtown Holland redefines active senior living. A no-step floor plan is designed around your needs, so you can leave the worries of home ownership behind and enjoy a vibrant lifestyle right outside your door. Make the River Place your home. Visit resthaven.org/riverplace to reserve yours today.
There is a school whose namesake is not a founder, not a historical figure, not a state, city, or physical landmark. It is named after an ideal, a virtue, a way of life. Its name is hope.
My name's Emma Duttmers. I play soccer. The first soccer game of my junior year, I tore my ACL. Our athletic trainer, Annie, was there for me right when it happened, and she was there for me literally every step of the way. That was definitely a huge growing opportunity for me, and it was really hard, but it really pushed me to be a leader with more of my voice because I couldn't lead by example on the field. It definitely made me take a step back and realize how much there is to be grateful for.
As an invested community partner, LVZ is proud to share hope stories of transformational impact.
At Van Andel Institute, we're in a race, a relentless competition to get ahead of the diseases that affect our world. Cancer, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's. We are at the forefront of research and discovery. Our global collaborations are a catalyst for big breakthroughs so that we can make the greatest impact on the health of current and future generations. Because in the race to prevent and cure some of the most insidious diseases, victory is the only option. Van Andel Institute, innovation unleashed.
My name is Megan Bigelow, and during my time there, I was on the Hope women's soccer team. I decided to choose Hope because of the opportunity to be involved in multiple things. I didn't want to go somewhere where I was just a number in the field. I was able to double major, experience both a business academic load as well as economics. I loved the opportunity to really get to know my professors. Hope exceeded my expectations.
I'm Nate Bauman. As an invested community partner, we're proud to help share hope stories of transformational impact.
It's no secret. The best way to learn about Hope College is to spend time on our campus. The Hope admissions team invites you to a personalized visit experience you won't forget. Located in downtown Holland, Michigan, our historic campus is close to shopping and dining and just 10 minutes from Lake Michigan. We invite you to check out our campus tour options or sign up for an online tour with the Hope admissions office. There's never been a better time to see Hope College. Visit us at hope.edu/admissions.
Hope students are challenged to dig deeper. They're challenged to find their calling and shape their future. They're taught to empower their talents, chase their dreams, and encouraged to make a difference. The Hope student body is ready to change the world.
If I do it, I'ma do it for the glory. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna do it for me.
see you. Good to see you, Brett. Thanks. Hey, welcome back. That was Brett Makita making a surprise appearance in the press box. Welcome back to Hope College, Ray and Sue Smith Stadium. Speaking of Ray Smith, he was out there with his 1975 undefeated team, and tonight we celebrate the 50th anniversary. Gentlemen who are in their late 60s and early 70s, as sturdy and steady and as staid as they've always been, out celebrating their 50-year undefeated anniversary of their 50-year undefeated team. Here, they will be celebrating 50 years from now that the Hope College Flying Dutch are leading Calvin Nice 28-0. May it ever be so for the second half. They dominated wire to wire, 19 first downs to Calvin's 4. Total yardage, too many to not enough. Through the air, it was Mr. Alex Thole, 19 for 26. And Vaccaro, not as effective, 5 for 10 with 1 INT. Cal Motter led all rushers, 62 yards on 8 carries. And for Hope, it was Johnny Rowan Blanton with a number of receptions. He led the Dutch in number of receptions coming in. Tonight he's 7 receptions for 60 yards. Luke Mitchmerheisen, the threat that I'd Hope worried about, had 5 thrown to him, but he only caught 2, so they've neutralized him. Vaccaro is the leading rusher for the Knights, 8 carries with 57 yards, some of them by design and some of them not so much. But it's been a Hope College half, Mike Coleman, and in some ways you wonder, they scored 21 points very early, and that was quiet, and I think I give Calvin credit for about 10 or 15 minutes of that first half. They neutralized Hope, and they made Alex run and chase.
Well, they do have 3 sacks on Alex Thole tonight, I should say. But yeah, Calvin offense was non-existent. They did have 71 of their 84 yards in that second quarter to kind of get a little momentum, but they threw that interception when they were driving. But you're always trying to look at some positives on both sides of the football. Hope was able to get 3 straight rushing touchdowns. They get that late touchdown to pull away by 4 scores. But, for Calvin, Reed Vogler, we've called his name a lot. I'm looking down. He's got 13 tackles in the first half already for Calvin. And then other things to note, Johnny Rowan Blanton, I talked to his dad, Aaron, at halftime. His nickname is First Down Johnny, and that is so true because he's got 7 grabs. That ties a career high. One more, he's got his career high. And time of possession, Stu, 21-31 for Hope to 8 minutes and 29 seconds for Calvin. Those are just some of the things that pop out here.
With 2 very impressive, really 3 extended drives that chewed up a whole bunch of time, including 5:50 on that first drive. And hats off to Vogler. He has been terrific with 13 tackles, 5 unassisted and 5 assisted. Not as many tackles for the Dutch because he just haven't been out there that much. Colton Skur had 3. He leads the team for the season, and he leads again tonight. But it certainly is a game that Hope College controls, and I think everyone is I think that the ambiguity coming into today is Calvin kind of the bottom of the first half of the MIAA or at the top of the second half? And right now, they've beaten the teams below them, but Adrian and Alma and Hope have bested the Knights. But in their second year, they're going to end the year on a winning season, even if the rest of the season doesn't end up the way they want it to. So a lot of improvement in just 1 year from head coach Fig.
I would think so. As the second half to commence, Calvin will get the football. They get the kick return and lowering their shoulder to the 28. That's where Calvin will scrimmage 1st and 10. A loss today for Calvin will still keep them in sole possession of a 4th place. You were talking about the standings at 3-3, but coming in right now, Alma at 5-0, Hope and Adrian at Hope at 4-1, Adrian at 5-1, and then Calvin at 3-2 for the upper tier.
And if Hope makes it as an at-large bid, they're going to have Calvin to thank for one reason: Concordia, Wisconsin. Calvin beat Concordia. It's Concordia's only loss.
That's
Concordia's
right.
7-1, and they're going to win the NAC. And
they got a fumble at the 25 as Vaccaro coughed it up, but he's able to fall back on the football. Crisis averted.
I think that might have been, let me check it here. I think that was I guess I'm not going to check it. We'll get the research team on it. I thought I had it, but I don't. But, you know, if Concordia ends and wins the NAC, that's sort of where the Markov models come into play, because it's second order kinds of probabilities. So, for example, the team that you beat, if they beat a really good team, you get extra points for that. So we can thank the Calvin Knights for knocking off Concordia early in the year. Huge win for Calvin. It's going to be a huge win for Hope.
I knew Concordia was at the top of the ladder in their conference. I didn't know they had just one loss, as we watched Liam Danitz pick up his first sack of the night. And I love those stories within stories. Speaking of Danitz, second in Division III with 12 sacks on the year. Vaccaro dumps it. Hunter Hogan trying to work some juke action at the 25 and is brought down. So Calvin, already we talked about if Calvin could win today, they would influence the MIAA conference standing shakeup, but they've already influenced things partially because of that victory over Concordia, Wisconsin.
So without getting too deep into this, and it might take a couple of takes, but the National Power Index is used for all Division III sports now, and there are two what are called dials. One is winning percentage and one is strength of schedule. So we'll talk about that a little bit in this half, but here's the punt.
Hope showing 10 on the rush, a running punt, good boot, sending Reams back to his own 35, heads up straight up the gut. Full head of speed, 50, 45 inside Calvin territory. And Gavin Reams, the Fruitport product, with one of his best returns of the season as he brings it back 25 yards plus, and Hope starts things on Calvin's side of the field.
Drake Irwin has been a good punter. He's had his fair share. He's had 27 coming in. He's averaged 41 with his longest at 59, and that was a boomer, but Gavin Reams erased a lot of that with a great return.
Sure did. How about 24 yards officially on that return? That is his second longest return of the season, only eclipsed by a 52-yarder at Loris in Duquesne, Iowa. 1st and 10. Dubuque, excuse me. I'm thinking of Duquesne, Pittsburgh. Duquesne.
You've been there too.
French.
You've called a national championship.
My brother's
there.
in Paris. It's right now. It's all about the French. So, yep, Dubuque, Iowa. Called a few games in that area.
I was out there as an observer with Kennedy Schoonveld and Olivia Bosco, and their teammates brought home a national championship.
Yes,
I think you and Chandler were on the call. I snuck down and said hello to you, asked for your autograph, and you wouldn't give it to me. Wouldn't even let me take a selfie.
I had my reasons. By the way, there's a great picture of Kennedy Schoonveld celebrating. Hope College media had taken it. Greg Chandler's in the background with fists raised with pure joy, as that one is batted down, and Thole knocked it to the turf before it was potentially intercepted.
Jack Jacobs, the junior from Lansing Catholic, almost made a highlight reel play. He deflected it, and then he almost grabbed it. Terrific play. No, and the other number 4 was able to keep it from him. So
that was a very heady play by Alex Thole to knock that out of the air. I just got a great text from Alan Babbitt, our SID. Gavin Reams, a Reams of returns and punt returns. That is absolutely true. He's one of the best in the league. Dump pass, Myers. Big room, down to the 20, forced out near side. Got a nice block downfield by Johnny Rowan Blanton, first down Johnny, and Hope rolling.
4th reception by Myers, and Allen starting to, I don't know, someone forgot to tell him that we would be taking care of the jokes tonight. Thank you, Allen.
Oh, I get all my material from Alan Babbitt. He's kind of the writer, and he kind of hides in the background. But Alan Babbitt, Sports Information Director for Hope College. He and Mackenzie McMahon, Sports Information Leaders, won an award, Region 4 SIDs of the Year, and rightfully so. There is nobody better. Cal Motter tries it off left tackle, and he is driven down after a modest gain up the left side.
Nice tackle that time by Kirsten Schneerstein. We've heard his name a couple of times tonight, and he is in on that play.
Gain of 4 on the play.
Yeah,
Schneerstein's 5th tackle of the night.
He's everywhere. 18 career games for Schneerstein, 22.5 tackles for a loss, 7.5 sacks. He's got 4 interceptions. For a linebacker, that's considerable.
And he just has a cool name, like Schneerstein.
Schneerstein.
It has an authority about it. I like that
He
name.
tackles with authority, I'll tell you that. Second and a long 5. They keep it to Motter. Motter, strong run off the right side. He'll flirt with that first down. Cal Matter comes in averaging 7.5 yards per carry, due in part to an 80-yard scamper he had.
That's
Touchdown
right, last
run.
week.
Yeah, against the Albion at a $112.
He's averaged 6.8 tonight on 11 carries.
Yeah, that's amazing. He was a starter initially, even though it's a 1-2 combination with Motter and Martell, but Motter with 74 yards officially, Martell with 33, and Goike with 10 tonight. As Hope is a team over the century mark. Motter tries to get it to the outside. He's going to get some room, and he will score as he punches it in from 7 yards for his second rushing touchdown of the night and his 6th in 2025.
Calvin did a great job of bunching up the middle. They read it perfectly, but what they weren't ready for was the bounce, and they didn't have kind of a secondary tier there to contain the play, and Motter walked in easily.
I've been really surprised. Motter and Martell got a considerable amount of carries behind Amos last year and Chance Strickland. And they're so quick. We're getting a full dose of them this year. They are such quick backs, and they read the holes really well, Scott. And to your point, he was able to do the bounce. As the fireworks are on display on the far side, east side, right above the Calvin fans, but not really celebrating probably the same way we are.
No, but it is beautiful. There were some that were orange and blue, and people wanted to notice that. I noticed that. So orange, those were more green and white, but yeah, it's been a great day to be Hope College. They lead 5 scores, 35-0, offense and defense, taking care of everything. And for some reason, Peter Sturzman wants to have an extended conversation about 45 yards in length with the line judge on his side about something.
I would think maybe some extracurricular. I mean, I
keep
just watched the
everybody
replay
safe,
as
yeah.
folks saw the replay on the feed and didn't see anything. Might have been
Well,
off
I think
camera.
both coaches want to keep everybody safe at this time. Hey, we want to say special hello to Dr. Tom Smith, Professor Emeritus of Business, as well as his colleague, Mr. Matt Atkins, who works in our business office and had a distinguished career in Washington, D.C., including working in the White House for a while. They are on a bus in Nashville. Nashville,
Going
if you
to
don't
Franklin?
know, is near Franklin. And they are listening on the trip. 35 students with the business club. Thanks to Matt and Tom for pulling duty on the way back, taking the students from the B Club down to Nashville
Is
this
that right?
weekend.
Fantastic.
And what better way to enjoy a 10-hour trip from Nashville than to join Coleman and Vanderstoop in a 35-0 football game.
He couldn't bring a good book or anything. He's
No. Why
he's
would
listening
you do
to
that?
us.
Matt, yeah, he's got some famous when he worked in the second Bush White House. He's got some
Oh, my
really cool
goodness.
pictures. He kind of worked in Laura Bush's office, and he used to be the Easter Bunny. That's his famous
Is
thing.
that right?
He was the Easter Bunny, so he's right there. He got to meet Bono, and he got to get his picture taken all the time with Laura, Mrs. Bush. The problem was most of the time he was in his Easter Bunny costume.
And he was able to hear George Bush talk about strategery.
Yeah, we had to, what was that, Phil Hartman? No,
Yeah, strategery.
Strategery. That was a
On
nice
first and 10. Nice run by Vaccaro, by the way, to scramble for a first down. Pass complete on the far hash.
Hunter Hogan.
Hunter Hogan, former receiver, now running back. His running back role is really diminished over the second half, especially in MIAA play, because now he lines up in the slot. H-back to the right. Single setback for Slaggers. Vaccaro has to change direction. Serious trouble, and he is brought down. Tyler Radley had the initial beat, and Calvin player on the turf at the 37.
Somebody's down.
Oof.
By number 6.
That was a Tyler
It's not
Radley
Vaccaro, is it?
block,
Let's
too.
hope not. Oh, no, who is it?
That's the
Looks
running
like
back.
it's
That's
Slagers,
that's Slagers, yeah. The sophomore out of Ontario Christian High School in Ontario, California, on that block by Radley. Tough break. He's trying to work his way off, but he's not really putting a whole lot of weight on that left leg.
Let's hope it's just a cramp. But on a cold night like this, I'm thinking it could be something more like a twist or a tear.
Yeah, Tyler Radley out of Westland John Glenn High School. 3rd down and 6, a long 6 from their own 41. 9:04 and counting. Hope up comfortably. 35-0, the lead they had at halftime at Calvin last year as they cruised to a 38-7 victory. 2-step drop, pass over the middle, complete, enough for the first down as he fights his way for extra yardage.
Carter Biles, tight end.
Yep, going to the tight end for the first time today. So for Carter, 10 catches coming in. The Dordt University transfer, NAIA school, like you mentioned, Scott, Hudsonville Unity Christian. There we go.
The Dordt Defenders, arch rival, the Northwestern Red Raiders.
There we go. Flirting with midfield as the pass complete for a short game. Knees have touched Seth Anderson with the second grab, the sophomore out of Rockford. Former teammate of Johnny Rowan Blanton. 2nd and 7.
So I'm looking here. Calvin, their drive started on their own 30, their own 25, their own 34, their Hope 43.
That was after the
10,
fumble, yes.
Yep, their own 27, their own 29, their own 25.
That's tough. That's tough field placement to start things as Anderson dropped. Once again, Colton Skur. He was on the Division D3 football team of the week a couple weeks ago for his 10-tackle career-high performance. So congratulations to Colton, senior out of South Christian High School. 3rd and 3 for Calvin has not been a good number for them. 2 of 7 on 3rd down efficiency. They came in at 38%. They've had the most 3rd down conversion tries in MIAA this year. That one complete at the 40. That will be incomplete. Check that.
It would be the opposite of complete, says the
true.
line judge. But right on the call there, as you can imagine, strength and conditioning coach Dan Margaret's, he had that before the line judge did.
He always is on top of
Yeah, and
things.
he's completely unbiased. That's the great part. He doesn't have any energy at all.
He's got mad grill skills, too, I heard.
Absolutely.
Pass in and out of the hands behind the intended receiver. Tough break as Calvin with 4th and short, and that'll be a turnover on downs.
So Matt, Margaret's counterpart at Calvin University is none other than Mr. Henry Dumais, who is married to one of my favorite students of all time and is the son of our distinguished information CIT manager, Ms. Deb Dumais. So we got a little Calvin influence over there. Or excuse me, a little Hope influence. Henry loves his job at Calvin, and he is their strength and conditioning coordinator, much like Dan Margaret's is for Hope. 2 great guys.
2 great programs and 2 great schools. Pass complete. Travis, that is Johnny Rowan Blanton. And that is a career high for Johnny Rowan Blanton. 1st down, Johnny, as he moves the chains for the Flying Dutchman. All the way down to the Calvin 45. 8 grabs for Johnny tonight.
That's why they call them what they do. If you look throughout the year, he has had he's had 7 twice, but he's never had 8. Good call, Coleman.
Oh, thank you, sir. Over 70 receiving yards. I'll get it right. And Thole dropped. 4th sack suffered by Thole, and that'll drop Hope back to the Calvin 49-yard line.
That's C.J. Sheets. He's had a great day. We've called his name a couple of times, and he's been really good. He's the junior from Longwood, Florida.
Well, we talked about Liam Danitz and his sack prowess. The sack by Liam Danitz a few minutes ago for Hope, the defensive end out of Ogama Heights High School, is he'll take over the national lead with 12 sacks, and that's incredible. You talked about his track prowess. We'll get to that in a second, Stoop. Swing pass on the screen, and Trey Goki can't corral that one. It's a little off the mark on that swing pass.
That was a forward pass by maybe 6 inches, and so heads up by Goiki to get on that just in case it was a fumble. So Hope College is proud to welcome our Alumni H Club members back to campus this weekend. Athletic alumni who completed 1 full season on an intercollegiate team at Hope College are members of the H Club.
Thank you, Stoop. So Liam Danitz, we were talking about him, went to the national scene in track, just a lightning quick defensive end, and the senior closing out a great career. Back to pass is Thole. He has to go deep out of trouble, and he is in serious trouble. He's got a receiver on the far side. That's Goldie. Just miraculous that he got it away. Tremendous pressure and a good throw. It'll bring up 4th and long in the punting unit for just the second time today for Hope.
He was trying to get, Calvin was trying to wrap him up like the Ranger College rodeo team would be, and they weren't able to do it. But if Thole ever gets sacked on one of those big scrambles, I mean, that's like a Fran Tarkington kind of scramble, and that's going to be a big loss.
If you remember that, you're probably drawing Social Security, Fran Tarkington.
Reverse mortgage. Is that what he does? Does he do the reverse mortgage?
Well, yeah. I think he has to. Oh, nice bounce. Hope trying to salvage this, and they will. All the way down to the 1-yard line.
Wow.
Dunkel dropped it at the 12, got a fortuitous bounce, and the special teams player for Hope just got behind it and just weighted it and cradled it in his arms at the 1. Nice play.
Dunkel's longest was 52. We'll have to look at the play-by-play with that one. But in terms of net, that's got to be one of the best ones. So great job by Dunkel. We want to thank our crack staff of students here. Let's see. They only gave me the first names on the list, Freddie. We'll see how I do on this. You got Jake Johnson, our director. Audra Woolman, our replay. Genesis Lambrecht on medium shots, getting very cold. Evan Miedema on wide shots. He's getting very, very cold because he's up top. Quinn Vanderkamp on field camera.
1st and 10. Vaccaro in trouble deep in the end zone, has to pitch it. Intended receiver is Seth Anderson. As Vaccaro driven out of bounds. He had a whole host of blue jerseys trying to chase him down. Caleb Parlberg leading the charge. Tyler Radley.
And then we finally have, last but not least, Emma Urich. Title for the night. Audio once Freddie leaves. Like, I don't know how you get it. It's like, that's good work if you can get it. And then the grown-up in the house tonight is our Ed McMahon to our Johnny Carson, Mr. Steve Secor, who is back from his honeymoon, his Icelandic honeymoon. He dodged the Icelandic blizzard. We're glad someone's got to run the house because it's just all kids tonight.
Yeah, he was prepping for the upcoming snowfall coming up down here. Pass complete to Mishmerheisen.
So what does that tell us? That Phil Blau goes to St. Bart's and Secor goes to Iceland.
I think if I'm on that decision, I'm gonna piggyback on Phil.
And
that's
a honeymoon,
for sure.
a honeymoon in Iceland.
Well,
that's true love.
You know, those musicians just dance to the beat of a different drum. Pass complete, breaking a tackle. My goodness, tremendous collision. As a first down on 3rd effort is Nick Earls, the sophomore running back, former Greenville High School product, eluded 2 tremendous hits.
Including one from Yogi Debris. It's hard.
Oh, my.
Yogi Debris is hard to get away from, but he did. Had credit there.
Bryce Debris out of DeWitt High School. And first down. Keeping it on the ground. We got
Drake Irwin the Rockford player.
Interesting. The sophomore. He does some kicking duties.
Okay, Red being well represented, as is Unity Christian, and congratulations to Unity Christian and their quarterback, Mr. Phoebus, the son of the indefatigable SID from Calvin University, Mr. Jeff Phoebus. He was grinning ear to ear when he dropped off his 80-page sports information report to us today.
The Encyclopedia Britannica, as I call it.
It's always good to see Jeff, and we are so happy for him and his family as Unity Christian took another step toward Ford Field, and what a great time for him and his family. Congratulations
you
to
bet.
Jeff.
Jeff's one of the best guys in the business, sports information, SID, along with Hope's Alan Babbitt, and 2 of the hardest working guys. By the way, Drake Irwin, 5 of 8 on the year in the quarterback position. He's showing his running legs up to the 20. Going to be just short of the first down marker on 3rd. It'll bring up 4th and short. And down 35-0, Stoop. I know they're deep in their own territory. Now they're going to send it into the punting unit. So Irwin will stay out to boot this one away.
You know, and you think, you wonder, like, when do you go with the sub? But Irwin's actually played in 8 games. Everyone seems to be on the press box Wi-Fi right now, but he's played in 8 games, mostly kicking, but he's thrown against Oberlin, he's thrown against Alma, he's thrown against Adrian, and he's played some defense too, so he's a utility player in many ways.
He's a Swiss Army knife. Another big booming punt, backs Reams up to the 35, spun down at the 42, 7-yard return on a big-time kick. That went almost 50 yards, and Hope will take over. And Stu, I know there's a lot of football left, but it's 2:41 left in the third. Hope up 35-0. They're on pace for their 3rd shutout of the season. 262-0 blanks, and making a statement here in the first rivalry game here at Hope in all its history. What a way to start that rivalry at home.
Calvin with only 4 seniors on the team.
Yes.
Their future is certainly bright.
Yes, it is.
They have a new defensive coordinator this year. As last year's defensive coordinator took a head coaching position at an NAIA school in Missouri, closer to his hometown. But they got a lot of things to be excited about, including a new stadium. So, and they're going to have a winning season, and they are going to be. They're going to be kind of at the top of that second half of the MIAA in just 2 years.
Well, they play Albion at Albion next week, so a loss today would put them at 6-3. They could conceivably finish 7-3, Scott, and a tremendous turnaround from 2-8 last year when they did not win an MIAA game.
And if you're Hope College, that victory over Concordia, Wisconsin, the only thing we can say is we couldn't be more grateful.
Right.
Because that's gonna help the other. Part of that, which is strength of schedule. And strength of schedule is who do you play and who do those people play.
Right.
And so that is, those are those 2 dials that we talked about, and they both matter.
By the way, that last run by Motter, it was an 11-man scrum pile, all the Calvin defenders and a few Hope linemen, and Motter wouldn't go down. He got a first down on that rush. This time he picks up 3. But back to your strength of schedule, Scott. I looked this morning. There's a couple ratings that you look at, and Massey ratings, which is one of the most accurate of Division III, had Hope out of 241 teams, strength of schedule 32 in the nation. Which is impressive.
The strength of schedule is set as a default. There's a ratio of win percentage to strength of schedule for all of the sports. I'll tell you about it after this play.
2nd and 7. Big burst. Trey Goike, the freshman, out of White Lake, Michigan, all the way down, flirting with the red zone. Boy, the burst of speed off the right side. Credit to Jeremiah Liebema and Timothy Clay. Clay making his 17th career start, opening up a truck hole for Goike, his biggest rush of the day.
Liebema, if he has played in anything nearly this cold, it was 86 degrees in Orlando, Florida today. So hats off to one of the twins, Jeremiah Liebema. He is out of his element if he's in 40-degree temperatures.
Mom, Dad, I'm going to Hope College. You know it's north of the Mason-Dixon line as far as like temperatures. Okay.
That's okay, Mom and Dad. You can listen to Scott Vanderstoop and Mike Coleman on the Anchor Network in 86-degree temperature.
In shorts and a T-shirt. Penalty flag. We have not had many penalties today, just 2, 1 for either team.
Let's see what our white hat has to say, Mr. Robert Foss.
Holding. Offense, number 59, 10
there we go.
First down.
Spot foul. 10 yards back. 2nd foul of the day. Penalty of the day. 15 yards total for the Flying Dutchman. Pushes them back to the Calvin 31. It'll make 1st and 20. Lot to work with. Billy Sternberg out. Trevor Griffiths in as they go to the wide receiver package. Goike is still in the backfield, along with Thole, the quarterback.
So these dials, 75-25 is the default. 75% for win percentage, 25 for strength of schedule. Football's made a change, I'll tell you about it.
Thole on the run. Wide open is Myers. He himself with his 5th grab of the day. That ties a career high. Forced out, another first down, and for the Flying Dutchman, they're a first down machine. 28.5 first downs on average per game, and they pick up their 25th. That's 8th in the nation. 3 quarters in the books, 35-0. Hope will have the football when we come back. You're watching and listening to the Anchor Network.
Yeah, my name is Travis Williams. I'm the CEO of the ODC Network. I graduated from Hope in 1998. I studied biology, and then I also played football. In order to be successful, people really need more than just the academic experience, but they need people to come alongside them and help them, coach them, mentor them. I find that Hope College has just been one of the best examples of being able to do that anywhere.
As an invested community partner, LVZ is proud to help share Hope stories of transformational impact.
Hope College leads 35-0 as they are looking to extend their winning streak after that heartbreaking loss to Alma here in overtime. I think one way to look at it is we're undefeated when Vanderstoop is on the color.
Well,
I mean, it's correlation, not causation, but I'll try. So we got 2nd and 5. I mentioned those dials. The default for the NCAA is 75% weight to win percentage, 60% to strength of schedule. The football committee has changed that dial, and they have the right to do it. They go 40% win percentage, 60% strength of schedule, which can help a team like Hope because they played some tough non-league games.
I think I like that better. Boy, Goike went off right tackle, bounces to the outside, wanting the end zone, Smith in the end zone. He's in, Trey Goike with his 2nd touchdown rush, 16 yards out, and the freshman is fired up as the Flying Dutchman increase their lead to 41-0. Boy, if we can have him for 3 more years, that would be stupendous.
He is terrific. He's only carried it 4 times, but oh, what the heck, every other time I'll just bring it into the end zone. Could very well end up, well, probably not, but he's already at 51 yards on just 4 carries. He certainly has the highest average. Cal Mater sitting at 94 net yards right now.
He's a slashing bulldog. Boy, one of these days, that end for Calvin's going to tip one of those extra points.
It's either Kai Hanna or Caleb Dubowski, number 0, but whoever it is, they make valiant efforts each time.
And I hope it's Hannog that we saw because he went out, he got banged up in the first quarter.
That's right.
So hopefully he's back in. We just don't know with the roster. But Caden Balkin doing his job, 6 extra points. And just a nice display is looking at the total yardage in this one after 3. Hope with 407, Calvin with 130, and just dominating time of possession, 28-16. I know our good friend Scott Watson always kind of sloughs off the time of possession, but especially against good teams, Scott, Hope was able to dominate time of possession over Adrian, kept a very good offense off the field, and I think personally, I think that factors into my humble opinion.
And I think that's what Calvin wanted to do, is they wanted to have the ball more, kind of like before the shot clock. They just wanted to try to extend the game, and that they just weren't able to do that.
And as prolific as Hope offense is to have that amount of time, they have 24 more plays than Calvin does in this game, as that one is just driven into the end zone. Daniel Klein averaging almost 60 yards a kick. Calvin will take over 1st and 10, their first touch. Most of this 4th quarter left. Well, we talked about Trine's Trine's loss to Adrian today. Albion big over Olivet, and then Alma all over Kalamazoo today, which sets up next week's game, as Adrian will try and knock off Alma at Balke Field in Alma, and Hope will be here against Olivet.
And if that happens, my armchair analysis is that they are going to, the first tiebreak is going to be schedule a league record. Well, they're all 3 going to be tied on that, and then they're going to look at overall record. And Calvin's going to be, and Hope's going to be in the favored position, and Alma's going to be in 3rd place on that because they've lost 2.
Right.
So they're going to drop out, and then we're going to be down to 2, and then they go to the 2nd tier of tiebreaks, if I'm reading the manual correctly. And since Hope defeated Adrian, they will be the automatic qualifier. We'll talk about what would happen in terms of strength of schedule and at large, but if Adrian beats Alma, then the dominoes will fall such that I think Hope will be the automatic qualifier. But
Fumble. Sorry, Scott. Fumble on the field.
down by contact, Mike Coleman.
Yeah,
down by contact.
Down by contact. He was the running back for Calvin was completely bum rushed.
I think that might have been who was it? Cam Peterson, maybe. Is that possible?
I think it was Nolan Viss, the freshman, the linebacker, getting the start.
That's right.
Yep. So Viss came up with a football, but it'll bring up a 3rd down and 2 forward motion as Hogan, the running back, Drake Irwin. I'm not sure if Thomas Vaccaro is injured, Scott, or maybe Trent Figg is just going to the new quarterback down by 6 scores. In motion. Pass is picked off. Going the other way. Down to the 20. Inside the 10-yard line and driven out of bounds. The 2nd interception of the day.
Is it Bryce Debris?
Dom Cassis, excuse me. Dom Cassis with the pick.
It was. I thought it was 21, Yogi Debris.
I know, it's so tough to see the numbers. No doubt about
Detroit Country Day. What a great opportunity for Dom, the freshman. First interception. I'm going to say it's his first interception of the year.
I'm looking right now. Could be his first career. Let's see where they mark the football on this return. They're going to get it on the 3. That's what the big scoreboard says.
Ball is placed at the Calvin 5-yard
I think they updated
it the
now.
5.
First and goal for the Pine Dutchman.
So if that works, now if Alma beats Adrian, then Alma will be undefeated and they will win the automatic qualifier, and then it's going to come down to these at-large. And as of now, Hope stands, from what I can tell, at about number 9 out of 13 at-large bids.
Vying for the end zone off left tackle, but denied. By the way, Dom Cassis, his first career interception. We saw Keaton Hendricks with his first nab of interception of his career.
I think that might have been Mike Murphy, the sophomore from West Catholic, number 25.
Boy, he has battled through a lot of injuries in high school, some knee issues. Certainly a capable backup running back. As he gets the touch, it'll bring up 2nd down. Loss of 1.
Easton Sudzinski is in. Sudzinski's in.
So we're going to see some fresh faces probably. Boy, that one is
Sudzinski.
perfect. Sudzinski, is that correct?
It is. Freshman from Granville. Rolling him up.
Well, we're seeing some young blood making an impact.
Sudzinski, that's his 2nd touchdown. He's only played in 2 games leading up to this. He's only carried the ball 6 times. So he's carried the ball 7 times in 3 games, and he's got 2 house calls.
Boy, he looks tough too. I'm looking up his dimensions. We talked about everyone being 5'10", 195 on that roster, but absolutely true. So he gets his first punch in, or second of his young career.
I think Sudzinski and Goike win the touchdown efficiency award. We got something here.
Offside defense, number 57. Half the distance for the try.
I would think so. He was 5 yards on the other side of the line. Well, we got the research department on a couple things right now. Hope 48-0. They are rolling with 12:57 remaining. Here's the punch by Balkan. That one is perfect. Balkan's perfect on the day.
Orange and blue fireworks on Hope's 7th touchdown of the day. We are going to take a short break, and we'll be back. Hope with a big lead here in the 4th quarter. You're watching Hope Football on the Anchor Network.
Gentex is a tech company supplying electro-optical products to the global automotive, aerospace, and fire protection industries. With focused competencies in design, vision, displays, software, and more, we're always looking for engineering talent. For our direct hire hourly production positions, we run open interviews Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 at our 58 East Riley facility in Zeeland. And our facilities, benefits, and culture are everything you'd expect from a world-class employer. Now's the time to join Team Gentex.
Hope College with a big lead over Calvin University. We had talked about whether or not Hope wins the automatic qualifier. If they don't, as we said, the winning to strength of schedule ratio in football is 40-60. It's different in volleyball. I believe it's set at the default 70-25. Other factors that go into the NPI weighting is the quality win base multiplier, as well as the quality, as well as the ratio of overtime versus victory. And some sports will say if you win in overtime, we're going to give you extra credit. The Division III Football Committee has decided that is not going to happen, which is an interesting decision because Alma won in overtime. And if it had been a weighted situation where we say as a committee we're going to weight overtime victories more, then Alma would have been in a favorable position if they had to get into an automatic qualifier position. But the committee statement was the committee values an overtime win the same as a win in regulation and did not place an additional weight on the overtime metric. Mike Coleman. I'm a lot interested about why they would why the overtime would have that much more meaning to it. As Irwin keeps it on the ground as he fights his way over the 25 to the 26 on first down. Yeah, and I mean, first of all, you have to ask, like some sports don't have overtime. Soccer doesn't play overtime anymore in regulation for player safety. Is a fifth set considered overtime in volleyball? Of course, you have overtime in basketball. Right. I guess you have extra innings in baseball and softball. But some places, I mean, some sports just don't even have overtime. But football, at least the committee has made the decision not to weight overtime wins any heavier. Pass near side complete, short of the first down. We got some new numbers as the pass to Mishmaheisen came in 6th in the league with 43 grabs. He had a high of 10 grabs versus Heidelberg early on in non-conference, but he has been held in check today, the fine sophomore out of Holland Christian. Yeah, he really has. Big hit there by Lorenzo Vitti, still in the game. Enough for a first down, though. Now, VT changes positions back to safety. Time for Irwin. He launches it deep on the far sideline. Incomplete. Good coverage. Mason Gugas, a sophomore safety from Romeoville, into the game. Cassis on the coverage on that.
2nd and 10 for the Knights.
I think we are now in roster expansion mode.
Yes, we are.
And we're going to work on that, try to get recognize as many people as we can here.
Jacob Reynolds, the junior defensive lineman out of Three Rivers, Michigan, in the game for the Flying Dutchman.
Easton Phipps, sophomore linebacker from Goodrich.
He's got a lot of playing time this year, has Easton. On second down, handoff. Hogan hit off the left side, moves in. Not much for Hunter Hogan. It'll bring up 3rd and 9.
Caden Vandenberg, junior from Forest Hills Eastern in. The Hawk.
Phillips, gain of 1 on the play. 3rd and 9 for the Knights.
3rd and 9 for Calvin. It's been an uphill battle for them. 3 of 11 on 3rd and 9. They just want to get on the scoreboard. I think that would be a major victory for them in this rivalry game. Hope showing the farm. Irwin steps up, and that one is picked off. Lorenzo Vitti overthrew his receiver, and Vitti had time to dial it up, and he picks up his 2nd interception of the season, 3rd of his career, and he is mobbed by his teammates.
Take it easy, boys. We got another week to play.
Exactly.
You get a little more. You get more roughed up on the bench.
Oh, he's from the Naval Academy. He's been through the ringer with that basic training.
It's plebe summer all over again.
Exactly. How about that? 3 interceptions today.
Also in on the corner on the other side that time was Maddox Greenfield on the right side, another sophomore from your favorite there, Mike Coleman, Caledonia. Research department tells me Maddox Greenfield gives his academic advisor a 10 out of 10 on the advisor scale. So.
How about that?
Yeah.
I was hoping to go Spinal Tap and go to 11.
Well, maybe when I was younger. I'm getting ready to retire. I don't score 11 anymore.
All right. I don't get that from the Russian judge. 7.58. Good rush right up the middle. Noah Dunkel, speaking of, the sophomore from Williamston, punter and running back. It's like a Swiss Army knife. They just bring out running back after running back. 5'11". Oh, by the way, Sadinsky went 5'11", 180, who just scored the last rushing touchdown.
5 pounds different.
He's 5 pound difference.
Such variance.
On 2nd down and 2, Dunkel keeps it on the ground as he carries it inside, dragging tacklers, would-be tacklers, over the 45 to the 47. And Hope with first down on the night, number 26.
Philip McLaurin, a junior from Niles, in the front, as is Aaron Hunt, a freshman from Hudsonville. And who else we got in there? Oh, my man, Nick Sade shows up every morning faithfully at 8:30 on Monday, Wednesday, Friday to listen to me blather on about developmental psychology. Nick, a sophomore from Mason.
Former Bulldog handoff, low snap. Stiff arm, running hard. I think that's Dunkel still. Oh, that's Mike Murphy.
Yeah.
Good run by Mike Murphy.
Gain of 8 on the play.
2 carries, 9 yards for Murphy.
Trying to figure out if McAleese is still in there. I think we've gone with Braden Hembry, the freshman from Portage Northern, snapping the ball now. So it looks like all 2s and 3s right now.
And I think Jaden Liebema, in Jeremiah's brother, is in as well on that front 5. 2nd down and 2 after the Murphy rush of 8 yards.
Is that
he
Bo
checks
Harris,
out.
the quarterback?
It is. That is Dallas Salser.
Oh, Dallas Salser, yeah.
Former transfer from community college in Iowa. As he moves to change the lefty, the southpaw.
Sauser and Thole were on campus wearing their uniforms on Friday with footballs, and it was a great video.
Really?
They're tossing it to all the players, all the students between class. Hey, we got a game tomorrow night, 5 o'clock, playing Calvin. Don't miss. It was terrific. They need to get agents because they were great. They could be actors. They were really funny.
Salser to his left, slings it in traffic, tried to thread the needle to his tight end. That falls incomplete.
Caden Vandenberg, was it Caden Vandenberg?
Number 84.
84, Aiden O'Brien, sophomore from Lawton.
Aiden O'Brien, he got a start last year. We were so banged up at times. Trevor Griffiths was out, among others, and Aiden O'Brien got a start in his young career.
We've called Billy Sternberg's name.
Yes.
How about this? Wide receiver, sophomore, Braylon Amos.
There we go. Tyler's brother, Portage, Michigan product. Saucer drills it.
That's Amos.
And Amos pushed out of bounds. Boy, Saucer has a wing, I'll tell you what.
Good stick that time by Noah Funk, the sophomore from South Christian. One of, I believe it's 5 South Christian sailors that are on this team. No, it's 4 from Grand Rapids Christian. I don't have the number of South Christian. We've got a few on both teams, but good stop by Funk there.
Saucer, in his last 2 games, 10 of 13 for over 100 yards passing. He's got some good action against Kalamazoo and against Albion as Hope keeps it on the ground, leading 49-0 with 7:34 left.
I think we've got Will Sonura, a freshman from Northview, number 24 in the game and at running back. Checking out is number 26, Noah Dunkel.
Tommy Boss, the H-back, we saw him last year. He checks in, and he will line up on the right side in the H-back position. 2 receivers on the right, far side. Slot receiver there as well for Saucer from the gun. Low snap. They hand it off. Right tackle kicks it outside. Inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line. First down, Flying Dutchman. It'll be 1st and goal.
And that was Tommy Bowles on the run. Checking in for Hope is number 39, Bryson Stevenson, freshman from Oak Ridge. We are in full-blown roster expansion mode, Coleman. It presses the aging eyes.
That's okay. Practice hard all week long, and these kids get a chance to play.
Connor Knapp, freshman from West Ottawa, number 0 in the game.
By the way, Cal Motter finishes today 94 yards rushing, couple touchdowns on only 14 touches. 1st and goal, right tackle, modest gain. This Calvin defense has been on the field a long time in this one. Over 30 minutes of possession for Hope offensively to 17 minutes of offensive possession for Calvin. It's been that kind of day for the Knights. They'll try to finish strong next week at Albion, taking on a spirited Britons team who picked up their first MIAA win this year with a victory in a shootout over Olivet, 58-42. And Hope trying to get on the board and get over the 50-point mark for the 4th time in their last 5 games. Low snap, Saucer, end zone, pass, caught, incomplete.
Great breakup. I think it was Caleb Dubowski. No, that's the wide receiver, the other 0, Kai Honig. The one who might have been hurt, I think that was number 0. He's made a couple of really nice plays in single coverage.
Yeah, it really has. By the way, that pass intended for Charlie Norton, the wide receiver for the Flying Dutchman. I don't know if we've seen Charlie this year, but he had an intended target. Norton out of Jenison, Michigan, former Wildcat. Boy, West Michigan well represented on this roster.
Terrific.
3rd and goal for the Dutchman. 5:37, clock is stopped from the far hash. Rolling left, stepping up, throwing, fires a bullet that went out of the reach of the intended receiver.
Connor Knapp.
Pass is incomplete.
I wonder if Connor Knapp is any relation to Tate Knapp. I do not know. We had a Tate Knapp defensive end a few years ago that was absolutely astounding.
Yeah, and I think Tate was Hamilton.
Okay.
And I want to say his mom worked at Hope for a while and then went on to get another job. And I want to say if it's the same family, his dad might have coached with us for a while. I think that was Hamilton. It's probably a different family.
Okay.
But I remember Tate. Good player.
Oh, great. Well, we used to say when he got a sack, it was a knapsack. How about that?
Kaboom.
Caden Balkin. Little chip shot from 24. Kick is up. And Hope College over the 50-point mark for the 4th time in 5 games, trying to shoot for their 2nd shutout in a row, 52-0. It's been a complete domination by the Flying Dutchman. You know, it really got my attention, Stoop, too, after that Adrian game, and when they won 19-17. I think they could just really relax a little bit, and they just let it all hang out against them. They took it out on Albion with over 660 yards of total offense in that victory.
And they did, and you know it was wire to wire. The first play was an INT, and then they made a house call, and then you had the 80-yard run, and it was one thing after another. And you know what's interesting is the rivalries depend on generations, and so you know in my generation. It was probably, you know, Albion or Kalamazoo. Certainly in Sturzman's generation, it was Albion. In Jacob Pardonet's generation, it was Trine. Because they had that run when they were very good.
Right.
And more recently, you know, Andrew Hawkins says, I didn't go here. I went to Michigan State. He goes, my rival was the one who has the best chance of beating us. So lately that's often been Alma because Alma's had a couple of decent runs. So, you know, it's an interesting kind of makeup of who we remember. But, you know, in Sturzman's generation, it was definitely the Albion Britons because they were very, very good, and they would often get the upper hand on Hope. And then it was Trine, and now it's Adrian and Albion are the top along with Hope.
You know, and if you really follow D3 football or any division, but it's so hard to get to the upper echelon, and Albion won a national championship. I think it was in '94. That is so difficult to do. We saw Hope with one of their best teams in history fail in the second round of North Central. Not fail in the sense they lost to a fantastic team, but so hard to get to the top and one of the hardest playoff structures in college sports.
Indeed.
Irwin goes down at his own 22.
See if we can get some of the Calvin players here.
You do that, and I'll do Hope.
Well, see, it's a lot easier to find them on offense sometimes than it is on defense.
Yes, it is.
Looks like we got some folks in here. Well, Wyatt Young is still in the game. He started, sophomore from Ravenna.
Irwin on second down. He's going to tuck it, try to get a block, forced out of bounds, and a good force out by Lewis Boscher, the sophomore out of Rockford. A lot of Rockford Rams playing tonight as well.
It's great program.
Yep.
Nick Earls, a running back sophomore from Greenville, is in the game. He was on the 2 deep, so he's into the game.
Gain of 6 on the play.
Number 85, Paul Bauma IV, the tight end from Calvin Christian, in the game.
3rd and 8 for the Knights.
Stoop, I like the cut of Irwin's jib, the quarterback for Calvin. He's very versatile. Looks like he's got a decent arm. He can run pretty well, but he's in serious trouble, and he's going to go down. Oh, Sanaya with a sack.
Big time.
Jude Asanye.
That'll be another punt situation for Calvin as they are unable to get things going. But I think you're right about Irwin. I mean, he's got that long body. He throws it. He's got kind of a gunslinger kind of motion to it, and can get a little bit on it. But right now, it's just a little too much Hope College. Nice kick.
Nice kick. Rockford sophomore backs up Gavin Reams, and Reams hit high, breaks a tackle, finally brought down. No gain on that return.
That's going to be Zayden Churko, sophomore from Jenison, making the solo tackle, wrapping up Gavin Reams, who's had reams of returns.
Yes, thank you, Alan Babbitt, for that. Alan said he's here all week, try the veal.
More than 500 students participate in Hope's athletic program each year. Our athletes and coaches are passionate about using sport, academic, and service to shape their time at Hope. You can join their team by making a gift to the Orange and Blue Fund. Gifts are used to enhance the student-athlete experience as well as providing access to college for all Hope students. For more information, visit hope.edu/orange and blue.
Thank you, Stoop. 1st and 10 from their own 26. Flying Dutchman content to throw it in the air. I was going to say keep it on the ground, but he had me fooled. Not content to keep it on the ground. Pass complete. Thank you. Thank you, Slay of Hand. Thank you, Mr. Hawken. That is Ethan Rosenberg, the sophomore receiver from Zeeland East. I think this one's coming back with the flag.
Line judge saw a hold, I think. We'll see.
You ever have something coming out of your mouth and you wish you could just grab it out of here and throw it back in there?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Ineligible player downfield. Offense, number 73.
Third penalty
5
of the
yards
day.
from the previous
Third
spot.
malfeasance
Repeat
for the
first down.
Flying Dutchman. With 3:27 left, Hope will move to 5-1 in conference, 8-1 overall, setting up the showdown next week against the Olivet Comets losers today. That'll be at 1 o'clock here. That'll be senior day.
Let me make a proposal, Mike Coleman, that we have a very brief postgame tonight because our student workers are freezing out there.
Agreed.
We'll only do 40 minutes tonight.
Okay, I was going to do 35, but I see that
maybe 35 seconds.
By the way, Freddie Velasquez, our fearless leader tonight, says, I said I had an extra pair of gloves, and he hit me up with them, give to one of the kids. So I said, I'm in such a good mood, you can have both of them. So, and I have a pair of gloves with the fingertips cut off because I use it to broadcast.
Such a big heart.
You know, when it's cold out. So I do not envy their effort. I appreciate their efforts. I do not envy their positions tonight. 2nd down and 2. Saucer, the backup quarterback, Alex Stoll's day is done, 21 of 31 for 244 and a touchdown pass to Sky Vanderkyle, his first career touchdown reception, as Hope with another first down, give them 26 on the night.
We want to thank all those folks who helped us out today.
You betcha.
The people who got to stay warm besides Mike Coleman and Scott Vanderstoop. Jake Johnson, who's up early morning with me in developmental psychology every Tuesday, Thursday at 8. He's our director. Audra Woolman on replay. And Emma, the new Freddie Velasquez, who Freddie just checked out.
Oh, did he leave? Okay.
Yeah, he had some other thing he had to film over at the dance studio. So that's important, too. Emma's on audio. So those of us we're all the ones who got the free lunch. The people who really worked for a living today, Genesis Lambrick on medium shots. And she had a very modest coat when I saw her walk out there. And she is not, she looked a little cold at halftime. Evan Miedema on wide shots. He's way up there where the wind is blowing. And then Quinn Vanderkamp on field camera, maybe a little warmer on the field. But we want to thank all of those folks for their terrific work. I'm looking here. I've got 1, 2, 3 of those students.
How about that?
This semester alone, and I don't, and that's, and they didn't even know I was working this. So I want to thank them. No extra credit, but I think we pay them. We're going to pay them this year. I'm pretty sure.
One of your students came up and says, "Hello, Professor Vanderstoop," and I said, "Who are you talking to?"
I was right in the middle of our dry run. I said, "Meet,
Professor.
What are you doing? Can't you see I'm pre-gaming?"
And into Calvin territory. Jonathan Pittman, the freshman quarterback. Muskegon Mona Shores takes over at the quarterback helm. This is a big kid, 6'3", 230, kind of Mason Oppel-like, if you remember Mason from a couple years ago.
Three-sport athlete.
Yep, you bet. We put him in goal line situations on second down and short. Hope will keep it on the ground, and working his way outside on the far side is Tommy Boss.
So Pittman's played in 6 games. He threw it 6 times against Loras, twice against Franklin, twice against MSJ, once against Trine, 4 against Kalamazoo, and 3 against Albion. So the freshman from Mona Shore is getting some early snaps, which have got to pay off down the road.
Yeah, I like that. Speaking of, Ben Atkins, a junior wide receiver out of Wyoming, Ohio, checks in. And checking out for the Flying Dutchman is Braden Hembry, the freshman out of Portage Northern High School. And room to run, first down and more. Pittman with a burst of speed. We got some more numbers. Sorry, Stu.
Yeah, go ahead. Charlie Gabowski, a linebacker senior from Troy, one of the 4 seniors for Calvin on this team. Also into the game, number 12, Luke Bushouse, a sophomore from Holland Christian, getting to play in front of his hometown friends.
How about Bryson Stevenson, the freshman running back out of Muskegon Oak Ridge, getting his first action of the year. He lines up off the hip of Pittman on first down from the Calvin 32. With 18 seconds left, this will be the last play of the game. And breaking it to the outside, 30, 25, 20. Racing for the pylon, dragged down at the 10. Oh, my. Bryson Stevenson, hello. Welcome to Hope College football with a big chunk gain, 23 yards, and that will do it for the Flying Dutchman as they gather at the 50-yard line. Their second consecutive shutout, their third of the year, 50-plus, 4 of their last 5, and a 52-0 domination over a very spirited, competitive, but undermatched Calvin team tonight.
A good day to be a Hope College Flying Dutchman on the gridiron. Congratulations to Calvin Knights on the soccer pitch as they defeated Hope twice in the men's final here in Holland and the women's final in Grand Rapids. But on the Ray and Sue Smith Stadium, it was the Hope College Flying Dutchman rolling Mike Coleman. We've got 1, maybe 2 of our 2 games left. We for sure, as we are having lots. Look at that, great camera work. I don't think those fireworks are going to warm the camera people up, but we appreciate it. If we've got any replays, we should probably roll them now. If we don't, that's okay too, as we are about ready to wrap things up here so our camera crew can come in and stay warm. Boy, that was a low-flying one right there. We see Cal Motter, Mike Coleman. It was a really kind of a dominating day for the Dutch.
Yeah, it was.
And, everything went right for them, except the first play of the game where they fumbled it and almost gave up a touchdown. But other than that, things got better quickly.
It really did. How about 428 yards of total offense and just 138 for Calvin? So you're talking 220 yards of offense, give or take, that Hope has allowed in the last 2 games combined. So they're just on a roll. You go back to that painful Alma loss, almost running the table, but they can complete a fantastic season. As we set up next week's broadcast at 1 o'clock, Alex Tholf, 21 of 31, 264 through the air. Once again, a great passing performance. He was sacked 4 times, but he had a touchdown pass. Cal Motter with 94 yards. Johnny Rowan Blanton with a career-high 8 grabs for 71 yards, the junior from Rockford, Michigan.
Special thanks to Steve Secor, our Ed McMahon, to our Johnny Carson, to Jose Freddy Velasquez, nuestro jefe, who apparently left because he had something else to do over at the dance recital. Jake Johnson, our director. Audra Woolman on replay. Emma Urich taking over for Freddie on audio. And then the people who really earned their money tonight, Genesis Lambrick on medium shots. Evan Meads, Miedema up top above the press box on wide shots. Thank you, Evan. I'll see you in class on Tuesday. And Quinn Vanderkamp on field camera. We want to thank all of you. We will be back next week for a 1 o'clock kick against the Comets from Olivet. Until then, for Mike Coleman, This is Scott Vanderstoop. Thank you for joining us. You have been watching Hope Football on the Anchor Network.